Welcome back to D20 Tactics. On this channel, I play Dungeons & Dragons with my friends, and we explore combat scenarios and play out the tactics used to defeat monsters quickly and safely, giving you more time to get back to roleplaying. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Sarson0, and this week we have a recap of the dungeon recently completed by AzureWolf, BlindOracle, Fear No Equal, and LongFish. First, I'll replay the 6 encounters that made up the Beguiled Forest, and we'll talk about the encounters that we thought deserve more commentary. If you recently watched those encounters, I'll put the timestamp for the start of the discussion in the description below. All of our heroes made it home after this one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand.
76 hit points, and magical great axe in hand. Second wind available, axe and surge available.
Short bow +1 in hand, 61 out of 61 hit points with the recently cast buff, and that's it.
AzureWolf is sitting at 60 hit points. Arcane Recovery is still up. 4 first level slots, 3 second level slots, 3 third, and 2 fourth level slots. My hand is the Wand of the War Mage and my spellbook.
Currently at 67 hit points. I have 4 first level spell slots, 3 second level spell slots, 2 third level spell slots, and 2 fourth level spell slots. I'm currently wielding my Warhammer and my shield, and I have both of my Channel Divinity up.
A local Duke has asked you to investigate the cause of the iron shortage from within the jungle where the iron mine is. The animals in the area have been acting quite strangely. The adventurers will try to investigate why the iron deliveries have dried up and what is causing the environment to react so strangely. Monsters' abilities, items, and numbers. There is one Etten, and Etten is a double-headed giant. Ettens have multi-attack, they have battle axes in one hand, morning stars in the other. There are 2 heads, give them advantage on wisdom saves to avoid certain conditions, but otherwise they're pretty stupid, easy to hit, just have a ton of hit points as most giants do. There's also a swarm of ettercaps. Ettercaps are like, imagine a 2-legged spider. They have spider climb, web sense, web walker, they can shoot webs, they can claw, and they can bite, but it's actually a 2-legged creature. And then we have a number of kobolds. There are 4 kobolds. Kobolds are CR 1/8 monsters. They have slings and daggers. They have pack tactics. They also have sunlight sensitivity. So unless they're using their pack tactics to get advantage, they're going to have disadvantage on all of their attack rolls because they're not great in the sunlight, but that's where the forest is. So that's what you guys are going up against. Terrain and effects. This map has a bunch of cliffs on it. The cliffs are a DC 15 athletics check to climb, and the cliffs go up, they shoot upward at a 45-degree angle. So every 5 feet from the base of the cliff, i.e. where there is no cliff terrain, that will be an additional 5 feet of climbing that you'll have to go upward. There's also a bunch of difficult terrain, a couple of trees, the stumps of which are impassable terrain. That's what we're looking at for terrain. What do you guys think about for tactics?
Spirit Guardian.
It's a valid choice.
There's no choke point we can hold. If we hide at the bottom of the cliff, they can still shoot at us, right? They don't block line of sight.
The cliffs block line of sight, but you could hide at the base of the cliff from them, depending on the angle. That is certainly a possibility. They have a lot of movement, though, right? They have 30 feet of movement. They can move up and down cliffs, so ettercaps can spider climb, so they can just climb over the surfaces without making a ability check. They'll probably just be able to climb down to look at you, do their ranged attack, and then climb back.
Oh, they all have ranged attack.
I think honestly till the kobolds get in range, we should focus on single focus, but those kobolds probably have the lower HP out of the bunch, so that'll be the quicker targets to get the action economy down.
Do we stay where we are, or do we move towards somewhere?
Do we move north?
Problem is they're just gonna climb around you guys.
If we move north, we can at least get out of line of sight of a few of them, and we won't get shot immediately. Force them to move around a bit.
Alright, so it sounds like head to the north, kobolds are the priority. Try to stay on the line of sight of the ranged attacks. Any other thoughts before we roll initiative?
Gonna come down to initiative.
Always does. Alright, go ahead and roll initiative. Anybody have higher than a 20? Anybody have between a 20 and a 15? Anybody have between a 15 and a 10?
Cleric goes at 12.
11 on the owl.
Who has between a 10 and a 5?
9 for the rogue.
8 on the wizard.
I have a 6.
I have a 5 on the Etten.
Hey, we did it.
So you guys are going to all go first. That's what you want. Cleric, you're up first.
Move me diagonal up 4. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardian there, nominating all my allies, and that's me.
After that, we go to the owl.
That hidden cap that's directly east of us, let's aggravate it for the rogue and then tuck him near the cleric and the spirit gardens towards the north there.
After that, we're going to go to the rogue.
Well, let's start by shooting the ettercap directly in front of us that I've got advantage on, and then we'll go from there. 23 to hit.
23 will connect.
26 points of damage. I don't suppose he's dead.
He's not.
Shoot.
It's worth the shot.
Then we will take 4 on the diagonal behind the cleric, and then take a bonus action to hide.
What are you at now?
Plus 11. 18.
18 will do it. And after that, we're going to go to the wizard.
Shoot and run. So firebolt, and that is nat 20, 17.
Starting those off early.
And let's get right next to that rogue.
After that, we go to the fighter.
Can you put me southeast of the cleric? I will throw a javelin at the nearest. Natural 20 to hit.
All right, yeah, sure.
The resignation in your voice is palpable.
That's bad when you get 2 nat 20s in the first round.
15 damage.
He had 1 hit point left. I really shouldn't be complaining about it, but yeah, 2 crits in a row is that's the thing. Yeah, 15 damage will drop that guy.
And my
The Etten and his colleagues. The order goes buff, range attacks, melee attack. This guy, move him. He's going to move to there as a dash. He's going to dash as well to there, and then over here is where it's going to happen. This guy's going to move to there. He's going to spit web at the fighter. He's got a +4. He's going to get a nat 1. That'll fail. Over here, he's going to dash to there. This guy, he can't get within range. He's going to go to there. The Etten, if he charges in there, now he's going to wait until the buffs go off because you guys aren't doing much. So he's going to walk over here and dodge. And then the kobolds. Kobolds have a 120-foot disadvantage range. They're going to move to here. You got cover, but that's fine. They have disadvantage for sunlight. They have disadvantage for range, but they don't stack, so that's fine. He's got +4 to hit you. You got +2 cover for the Ettercap, who I shouldn't have put there. We're going to get a 15 to hit you.
miss.
11 to hit you. Drop the 19 for a 13 to hit you. Oh, there it is. 21 to hit. You get +2 for cover.
Oh, that'll hit me.
Take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. That's me. After that, we're going to go to top of the order, LongFish.
Pop out to the right 1 step. Take a shot at spider thing straight south of me. A Sacred Flame. Dex save 16.
He's going to fail.
Take a measly 6 damage. I'll back up.
After that, we're going to go to the owl.
So I can see the one that just came behind us, right?
The wizard has line of sight. The owl does not.
So I could tell it to aggravate the thing for the rogue because I know there's a creature coming behind us.
Yeah, you can also hear them. They're not being stealthy.
So let's do that. Let's aggravate that thing behind us for the rogue.
And then return to the same spot.
Yep.
After the owl is the rogue, BlindOracle.
Let's go ahead and take a step diagonal to the northwest. Shoot the Ettercap at advantage. I believe a 28 will hit.
Yep.
Another 26 points of damage. And then let's go ahead and tuck back in next to the cleric again. Is the space in front of the cleric underbrush that I can hide in?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to go there, and I'd like to take the hide action. A 19.
19 will do it. After the rogue, we go to the wizard. AzureWolf.
Firebolt to the north. 14.
14 will connect.
15 on the die. And let's step to the east 2 spaces. That way they have to come into the Spirit Guardians.
After that, we're going to go to Dingo.
I'm gonna move south and get in the melee range of that. And I'm gonna swing my axe. 21 to hit.
21 connects.
11 damage for my next trick. 20 something to hit.
Yep, 20 something will connect.
13 more damage. End my turn.
After that, we're going to go to my turn. First thing to do is recharge the used ability. He succeeds in recharging it, although he is within melee range of you, so he's probably not going to want to spit a ranged weapon at you. So instead, let's use the other guys. He'll move to there to remove the cover and try to spit web at you. 23 to hit you with the web.
That'll hit.
And you are restrained by the webbing. You can try to break out as an action against a DC 11 strength check on your turn. You can also destroy the webbing. It has AC of 10, 5 hit points, vulnerable to fire, and immune to bludgeoning, poison, and psychic damage.
Alright, LongFish, shoot me with fire.
I don't know that LongFish has a fire attack.
You probably need the wizard.
This guy is going to make his attacks against you. He has advantage because you are restrained. He's got a bite attack and a claw attack. Here's the bite. 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Kindly take 8 points of piercing damage and 1 point of poison damage. That's 9 total. And give me a Constitution save DC 11 versus poison.
20.
You are not poisoned for the next minute. Then the second attack is a claw attack. He's going to get a 14 to hit you with the claws.
That'll miss.
This guy is going to jump in and do the same thing. Here's the bite. Nat 20.
I'm immune.
But I hit. So take 5 points of piercing and 7 points of poison for a total of 12 points of damage. Another DC 11 Constitution save.
12 con.
12 will make it. You are not poisoned by this guy either. Over here, we're going to spit web at the wizard, just to remove any cover. That'll be a 21 to hit the wizard.
Ooh, yeah, that's definitely going to connect.
He's going to stand up there and spit web on the cleric. 18 to hit you, cleric.
Nope.
Those are all my potential buff attacks. The Etten is going to go after the fighter, hopefully. You're restrained, so he's going to get advantage on his attacks. The battle axe is going to swing for +7. He's going to get a 15 to hit you.
That'll miss.
And a Morning Star. He's going to get a 22 to hit you.
That'll hit.
12 points of piercing damage from the Morning Star. First kobold is going to take his shot. These are at disadvantage because of the range. He's going to get a 6
Nope.
and then move out of the way. The next one's going to move in. He's going to get a 10 and move out of the way. The next one's going to move in. He's going to get a 14, move out of the way. And the last one's going to move in. And he's going to drop the nat 20 for a 13 and move out of the way. I think all of those are going to miss you.
Correct.
And those are all of my guys. After that, we go to the cleric.
Let's see.
Can you free me?
He's walking to the big group of people.
Yeah, I'll try to break him. The one attack, right?
Webb has an AC of 10, 5 hit points, vulnerable to fire, and immunity to bludgeoning, which is probably going to make this not happen, poison, and psychic damage.
Okay. Yeah, I have a hammer. Let's see.
Too bad you don't have a dagger.
Activate your knife hand.
Would radiant damage?
Radiant damage would do it. What are you thinking as far as doing the radiant damage?
Sacred Flame?
Sacred Flame, I think, has to target a creature, right?
I can just do a strength check and try to break it, right?
That's not an option here. As an action, the restrained creature can make a DC 11 strength check. So since you're not restrained, you can't.
So you could summon a spirit weapon to hit it.
Spiritual weapon does force damage. That's true.
Yeah, bonus action, cast Spirit Weapon, level 2. And Spiritual Weapon is going to try to attack the web. 16 to hit.
16 will connect.
Does a total of 12 damage.
12 points of force damage will drop that. You are no longer restrained, wizard. All right, that's a bonus action. What else you got?
Dodge.
Makes sense.
I'm going to stand to the northwest of the fighter.
After that, we're going to go to the owl.
Again, to aggravate the same one we did before, northwest there, for the rogue, putting him in that circle of friendship.
Above the cleric. After that, we're going to go to the rogue.
Well, let's go ahead and shoot the one to the sort of northwest there that was aggravated. Well, there's the crit.
Yeah, give me some damage.
Do we have to take a dice break?
This is where he adds up 97 points of damage for 0 to tell us he had 1 HP.
44 damage.
He has 3 hit points.
Jesus.
There it is.
You just wanted to make sure it was dead.
Wanted to make very sure. You got a bonus action left. Hide again.
Yeah, I think we're going to take the hide action again. 31.
Okay, yep, nat 20 plus 11. That'll do it. After that, we go to the wizard.
We've got 4 there, so that's usually my rule of thumb for a fireball. If I center it on the end, can I get the one to the north there is the question.
Yeah, you can get all of those.
That's the plan then.
And he hit my web and not me.
Yeah, actually, I think I can.
Let's go read Fireball. When in doubt. The fire spreads around corners. It ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried.
Hey.
So you are no longer restrained by the webbing.
DC 16 dex. Damage. That is 33.
33 or 16. Okay. The guy up here, he's going to fail. He's going to take 33. Furthest guy is going to take his save. He's going to pass. So he's going to take 16. The guy directly below the fighter, oh, he's going to die either way. And then the guy to the southeast of the fighter is going to pass. He's going to take just 16. And then the Etten is going to fail. He's going to take 33.
131 damage total. Good job.
That's an action. What else you got?
We're moving in. Don't want to move one more south just to make that thing have to take an attack opportunity if it leaves.
You don't have a weapon out.
That's right.
You can always punch.
Yeah, I have the wand of the war mage. But yeah, I got you.
Even if you don't have a weapon out, it causes a disadvantage on range attacks, which they are known to do. So after that, we're going to go to the fighter.
It's time for my signature move. Alright, I'm going to swing my axe on the purple guy in the southeast. So close. 18 to hit.
18 connects.
16 damage. Oh boy. 13 to hit.
13 will connect. That's what you need.
Found the number.
The old 8 damage. I'll action surge. 19.
19 hits.
15 damage.
15 damage. That'll drop him because he's got 4 left.
And then a crit on the Etten.
Okay, thanks.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh, you're gonna love this one. I rolled a 1 and a 2. 9 damage. A massive crit there.
Solid crit.
And my turn on that.
After there, we're going to go to the Etten and his friends. My recharge abilities. Going to try to recharge this web. He's going to succeed. Going to try to recharge this web. He's going to fail. Recharged is going to move to there and shoot a web down at the fighter. He's going to get a 6 to hit your fighter.
That'll miss.
He's going to start his life in the circle.
Wisdom 16.
Fails.
Takes 17 damage.
17 damage. Okay. He's going to try to bait the shield out of the wizard. He's got +4 to hit you. 8 to hit you, wizard.
Miss.
And then the second attack with claws. 22.
Okay.
So the claw is going to do 5 points of slashing damage. You concentrating or anything?
Nope.
Normally I would go the kobolds next, but the Etten is in the way. So we're going to move the Etten. He's going to start his turn off in the circle.
Wisdom 16, 12, or 6.
He's going to take the 12, so he's not that wise. I guess we're already in here. We might as well try to turn off the damage. The fighter is easier to hit. We're going to go to there, out of the way of the kobolds. He's at +7 to hit the fighter. So the first attack is a 24 to hit your fighter.
That'll hit.
Big hit.
Take 14 points of slashing damage from a battle axe. Second attack is a 20 to hit you.
And it'll hit.
13 points of piercing damage from the Morning Star.
Ouchies.
You good?
I'm at 18 HP.
We're going to go to here, walk over to that spot, take a shot at the fighter. Kobolds have pack tactics, so they have advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the kobold's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally is not incapacitated. The Etten checks both of those boxes, so I'm going to get advantage to hit you, disadvantage for range. Those will cancel out. This is just a regular shot. I'm going to get a 21 to hit with the kobold.
Whew.
Ow.
Take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and then the kobold's going to walk away.
Gonna get slung shot to death.
Hopefully. 13 to hit you.
Those kobolds are on point.
21 to hit you.
Yep,
Take 4 points of damage. And 14 to hit you.
that'll miss.
After my guys, we're going to go to the LongFish.
Bonus action, move the spiritual weapon down to the Yedin. And let's hit the Yedin. 26 to hit
That'll connect.
for a total of 9 damage. And I will dodge.
After that, we're going to go to the Owl.
Southwest one, let's aggravate it for the rogue.
After that, we're going to go to BlindOracle.
Let's go ahead and use that aid. Shoot the one to the southwest at advantage. It's a 17 hit
17 connects.
for 24 points of damage. Bonus action hide. 24 to hide.
24 will hide. After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Etten's not the play, it's still the cat to get rid of them. So Firebolt, 19 plus 9, 28.
28 connects.
9 points of damage. And I think I'm good where I am.
After that, we're going to go to the Dingo.
You all know what time it is. I'm gonna swing my axe at the sudden. 14 to hit.
14 connects.
Nice. 12 damage. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
10 damage.
10 is exactly what you needed. He had 10 hit points. He drops.
Got him. I'm gonna move all my movement towards the kobolds.
Second wind.
It's a bonus action, right?
Yes.
10 HP.
After that, we're going to go to the Etten's, well, not the Etten, just the Etten's friends. Recharge ability. We're going to fail that. Ettercap is going to, yeah, he doesn't have the movement to climb down there. Doesn't want to jump. Can't survive the fall. So he's going to have to go around. One of the kobolds is going to move forward. Very unkobold-like. He's going to move to there and dodge. The rest of the kobolds will get advantage from this, and they're going to sling you. First one's going to get a 14 to hit.
That'll miss.
Second one, going to get an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And the third one is going to get a 14 to hit.
It'll miss.
After that, we go to Cleric.
Move me 1 diagonal up and then 4 to the east. I will throw a Sacred Flame at the top further away kobold.
Okay, what's the range on Sacred Flame?
60 feet.
60 feet. You do not have it.
Can't catch them.
If you dash, you can catch him.
Get the one in front of you.
Well, you can do that with the bonus action. The hammer's going to do that, right?
No, I'm gonna Sacred Flame that guy since I don't have to aim.
Before you do that, there's a purple guy in the north, and he's not dodging.
Oh, right. Sacred Flame doesn't care about dodge.
It does. It's a dexterity save.
Never mind. Yeah, I will send the Sacred Flame up against the purple thing then.
He's going to fail.
9 damage.
9 points of damage. That is lethal.
Nice.
And then I will send the Spiritual Weapon after the kobold. Disadvantage to hit. That's a 13 to hit
Yeah, 13 connects.
for 9 damage.
9 points of damage. You got it.
That's me.
Ow.
That's way more than 60, so let's move them to that southeast rock crop, the area there. Thank you.
After the owl is the rogue.
Just time to start huffing, I guess.
You are 100 feet away from them at the moment.
Oh, what's the range on a short bow? 1 second.
80. 16 squares.
Let's go ahead and move up behind the cleric.
You got it.
That should put me within.
Yep, you're within range.
Bonus action hide behind the cleric because reasons.
Specifically that your specific type of halfling can hide behind medium and larger creatures.
21.
21 will do it.
And then we will shoot at the middle kobold.
Their passive perception is 3.
17 to hit.
17 connects. This guy has no idea where the arrow came from. You know that old trick of coming in from out of the sun so that they can't see you? That's what you're doing, but it's everywhere. The sun for them is everywhere.
31 points of damage.
31 points of damage. Killed him 6 times over.
That's my turn.
After the rogue is the wizard.
Move to the northeast there and Firebolt. Send one down range. I got 120 range on this thing. Might as well use it. That's a 21,
21 will connect.
15.
15 drops him.
That's it.
After that, we're going to go to the fighter.
I will move up 30 feet and throw a javelin.
Disadvantage for the range.
18.
18 connects,
For a big ol' 8 damage.
and the kobold will drop. Report hit points.
16 out of 76.
61 out of 61.
55 out of 60.
67 out of 67.
Does anyone want to take actions at the end of encounter?
I'm gonna cast a Channel Divinity. I'll try to bring Bingo up to half.
It'll give me 20 healing.
With the first layer of defenses removed, the adventurers will move in deeper into the forest and try to figure out what has stopped the flow of iron from deeper in the jungle. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand.
Currently at 67 hit points, I have 4 first level spell slots, 2 second level spell slots, 1 third level spell slot, and 2 fourth level spell slots remaining. I have 1 of my Channel Divinity remaining. I'm currently armed with my Warhammer and my shield.
61 of 61 hit points remaining. No consumable abilities on tap. Holding my shortbow +1.
55 out of 60 hit points remaining. I have 3 first level slot, 3 second level slot, 2 third level slots, 2 fourth level slots, full charges on the wand of magic missiles.
36 current HP, great axe in hand, and my action surge and second wind are down.
Monsters' abilities, items, and numbers. This encounter is the bridge on the path to the mine. Bridge is currently being guarded by Orogs, which are elite orc warriors, riding direwolves in Saracen Zero cavalry formation. The Orogs are plate-wearing orc warriors. They have great axes and javelins. They're aggressive, so as a bonus action they can charge towards a hostile creature they can see, but the wolves are doing most of the movement, so that probably isn't going to happen. The direwolves have keen hearing and smell, so they have advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or smell, which is going to be advantageous for them when trying to find a halfling who's trying to hide from them. They have pack tactics, so they have advantage on attack rolls if at least one creature that is their ally within 5 feet of the target is not capacitated. And they have bite attacks that can also knock people prone versus a DC 13 strength save. Also accompanied strangely by goblins riding wolves. The goblins have scimitars and shortbows. They also have nimble escape. They can disengage or hide as a bonus action if they want to. They're mostly artillery, and the wolves that they ride on have pack tactics identical to the previous one. They have keen hearing and smell identical to the previous one. They have a bite, which is almost identical to the previous one. It is just an easier save to resist being knocked prone. Terrain and effects. So there's a bunch of trees, a bunch of difficult terrain, a bunch of impassable terrain for the stumps of the trees, and then there's a bridge that's completely clear and a chasm in the middle. Chasm is a 40-foot drop to the ground below, so that's going to be 4d6 points of bludgeoning damage if you fall down that. There's no check to climb out. There's ample handholds on both sides of the canyon if you want to try to climb out. It is 40 feet up, so unless you have something that makes you climb fast, that's 80 feet of movement that you're going to have to spend trying to climb up if you find yourself down there. What do you guys think of for tactics?
I think this is one where getting rid of the mounts is more important than the guys riding. It's one of those few ones.
I think we should run up to that bridge and get him in a choke so that we don't get flanked by 4 dogs.
The bridge or maybe one of the side roads, because I don't think we can make it to the bridge. Even without stunty move, we're gonna get stuck in the open. Maybe like to the south where the first goblin is?
Yeah, we do that.
That could work.
So we kill mounts and we try to hide in a corner.
Because you said those Aurochs are wearing plate, right?
Orogs are wearing plate, that's correct.
So the mounts are definitely more efficient to get off the board.
All right, let's go ahead and roll initiative then.
Thoughts and prayers.
Anybody have higher than a 20? Anybody have between a 15 and a 20?
Cleric on 17.
I've got a 16 for my guys.
Yikes.
Who's got between a 15 and a 10?
12 on the wizard.
Rogue has a 10.
Who's got between a 10 and a 5?
6 on the owl.
And who's got between a 5 and a 0?
I rolled the maximum 2 on my dice.
LongFish, kick us off.
Move me 5 towards the goblin rider. I will throw a first level guiding bolt at the mount. 27 to hit.
27 will connect.
13 damage.
13 damage is lethal. The mount will drop and the goblin will pop off. After that, we're going to go to the Orogs. Don't have any buffs, which is fine. This direwolf is going to move to here and the direwolf is going to dodge. The Orog on the top is going to throw his javelin at the wizard. It's going to get a 23 to hit you, wizard.
Alright.
Take 8 points of piercing damage. That's what I was supposed to do. Now I remember. This direwolf is going to move to there, and his action will be to ready an action to move back after his rider makes his attack. Then the rider is going to make his attack on the wizard. He's going to get a nat 1, which is unfortunate, but then the direwolf is going to activate his ready action, and the Saracen Zero has learned the fish. This wolf is going to do the same thing. He's going to move to here and ready an action for his rider to complete its attack. They're going to shoot at the wizard. He's going to get a 20 to hit you, Wizard.
Yeah, it's worth a shield.
What's your AC?
You said he hit at 20, so he's gonna hit me either way, so never mind.
6 points of piercing damage from the short bow. That'll activate the wolf's ready to action. He's going to move back. This guy's going to do the same thing. Move to there. Ready in action to move back. The goblin's going to shoot. The goblin's going to get a 22.
Okay.
That'll do 3 points of piercing. And then the wolf's going to move back to there. This dire wolf is going to move. He's got 20 squares if he dashes. So he's going to move to there. His rider is going to throw a javelin at the wizard. He's going to get a 23 to hit you.
Okay.
He's going to do 6 points of piercing. My dice are on fire.
Go ahead, get rid of all those good rolls of yours.
This is not going to look good for me. This dire wolf is going to dash over to there, and his rider's going to throw a javelin at the wizard. He's going to get a 24 to hit you. Take 5 points of piercing. This goblin is going to shoot at the cleric. He's going to get an 11 to hit you, cleric.
Nope.
Bonus action to hide behind that bush. And he's going to get a nat 1 on the die roll. He's very sneaky. He's going to get a 7. Everybody with a passive perception of 7 or higher, you know that there's a goblin there. After all of my guys is the AzureWolf.
Time for revenge.
Fireball? Question mark.
Either fireball or slow. Slow would drop the AC of the riders by 2.
Well, there's 6 of them there, so I think Fireball's a good idea.
You should be able to catch all the big wolves.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. There's 6 targets, which is a plus. DC 16, Dex 31.
31 or 15. In the northernmost Orog, he's going to fail. Direwolf that he's riding, fail as well. The middle Orog is going to fail, and then the middle Direwolf, he's going to pass. The southern Orog is going to fail, and then the wolf is going to fail as well.
170 damage.
Down to the south there in the bushes.
After that, we're going to go to the BlindOracle.
Don't have great choices here. Let's start by taking the hide action behind the fighter as a bonus action. A 14.
Yep, that'll do it for the Orogs, that'll do it for the Direwolves.
What is the currently most recorded injured?
Direwolf, the northernmost one, and the southernmost one of that bunch.
Alright, let's go ahead and shoot the northernmost direwolf. 27 to hit
27 will connect.
for 28 points of damage.
So that will kill that guy. If your mount is not prone, you can use your reaction to dismount it as it falls. Otherwise, you're dismounted and fall prone in the space within 5 feet. He will use his reaction to dismount gracefully.
Movement, and I'm trying to figure out where the safest place to move here is.
South out of line of sight,
Come hang out with me.
because I am not going to stand here.
You're not? Okay, I guess we take straight south.
After that, we go to the Owl.
South guy, let's aggravate him for the fighter. And then move him somewhere safe. Let's get in the bushes.
After that, we go to the Dingo.
I'm going to move 3 squares down, 1 square to the right, and I'm going to dodge.
And you're going to dodge, okay? After that, we're going to go to the LongFish.
I'm gonna go seal off the other end, and I will throw a Sacred Flame at him. Dex 16
He's going to fail.
He's on point with the Sacred Flames tonight.
for 13 damage.
13 points of damage, that'll drop him.
That's me.
After the LongFish, we go to the Orogs. This guy is going to charge the squishies. He can move aggressively as a bonus action. He has his regular movement, so he's going to take 1 more step, and then he's going to throw a great axe attack. We're going to throw the first one at the wizard. He's going to get a 16 to hit your wizard.
Yeah, let's shield.
Perfect. And then we're going to throw the second one at the rogue. 18 to hit your rogue.
Sure, let's see it.
15 points of slashing damage.
Uncanny dodge. Use my reaction to have the attack's damage.
So you're going to take 7 instead of 15. This direwolf is going to move to there, and he's going to try to bite the rogue. He has advantage because he has pack tactics, plus 5 to hit on the bite. 20 to hit you, rogue.
That'll hit.
Take 13 points of piercing damage and a DC 13 strength save.
Fail.
You are knocked prone.
Okay.
The rider's going to make his attacks. He has advantage against the rogue. First attack, he gets a 14 to hit you with advantage.
Miss.
And the second attack, 25 to hit you. He's going to do 7 points of slashing.
It was less than I expected.
This guy's going to move in here. Pack tactics, Direwolf is going to go after the fighter. So the dodging disadvantage and the advantage cancel out, I believe. He's going to get a 16 to hit you, fighter.
That'll miss.
The Orog is going to swing with his axe. 13 to hit you on the first die.
That'll miss.
And he's going to get a 9 to hit you with his multi-attack.
That'll double miss.
Over here, this guy's going to move in. He's got 50 feet of movement, so the difficult terrain isn't a problem. Pack tactics again because the Orog is with him. He got a nat 20.
Now I'll hit.
Now he wishes he was dodging.
14 points of piercing damage from the Direwolf. Orog on top is going to make his attacks. He's got a nat 1 for the first attack, and he's got a 14 for the second attack.
No miss.
Nat 1 and a nat 20. Perfectly balanced.
As all things should be. You guys have pretty good cover. We're going to go for the fighter. We don't have a great shot, but we're going to try to line it up. Wolf is going to move to there. The rider's going to take a shot. He's going to get a 15 to hit you.
Miss.
This guy's going to move to here. He's going to take the same shot. You still have +2 for the cover. He's going to get another nat 1. Those are all of my guys. After that, we go to the AzureWolf.
I think slow's the better option here to slow those Aurochs down. Try to take away their multi-attack. So a 40-foot cube will appear. I can choose up to 6 creatures of my choice.
Is this an evocation spell?
This is a transmutation, but it's creatures I choose.
Excellent.
It's a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
The westmost Orog is going to fail, so he's slowed. The westmost Direwolf is going to fail also. The eastmost Orog, he's going to fail. The eastmost Direwolf, he's going to fail. Foot Orog is going to pass.
Wolf, just to slow it down.
He's going to save also, so he's not slowed.
So slow's going to give the targets a -2 AC penalty and a -2 to Dex saving throws. It also can't use its reactions anymore. It can either use an action or a bonus action, but not both. And no matter what, it can only make one melee or ranged attack.
Creature affected by this can make another wisdom saving throw at the end of each one of its turns. They don't have any reactions. You're going to hang out there, or you're going to move.
Let's go south. Go east one, and then as far down to the southeast as I can.
After that, we're going to go to the BlindOracle.
First order of business is to stand up, so that takes half my movement. Let's go ahead and move south, dash action, hide action. 20.
Yep, that'll hide you from everyone. After that, we go to the Owl.
The one on the east is the one that's got the most damage rate. Let's aggravate him for the fighter, and then move back.
After the Owl is the Dingo.
Dodge.
You're going to dodge, okay. After the Dingo is the Longfish.
I'll hit the wolf with inflict wounds. Hell yeah, crit.
Oh, okay. This is not going to go well for me.
Hell yeah, brother.
35 damage.
Wounds inflicted.
He's alive.
Bonus action. Yeah, drop a spiritual weapon.
Can't cast 2 level spells in the same turn.
Never mind.
After that, we're going to go to the Orog. So we're going to clear up a path here. Make his single attack against the fighter. He has disadvantage because the fighter's dodging. He's going to get a 12 to hit you.
Miss.
Oh, this Orog doesn't have slow on him. This guy's going to make a second attack against the fighter. He's going to get a 16 to hit your fighter.
That'll miss.
Remember, the movement's slowed.
The Direwolf has advantage on this attack because he still has pack tactics. He has disadvantage for the dodge, so he's just going to make a regular attack against the fighter. He's going to get a 23 to hit you, fighter.
That'll hit.
11 points of piercing damage. Go ahead and make a strength save versus knock prone.
Get an 11.
So you are knocked prone. The wolf is going to try to break its slow effect. He's going to fail as well. This guy's going to try to break his slow effect.
DC 16 Wisdom.
His wisdom is +0, so he fails. This guy's going to move 2 squares there and make his advantaged attack against the fighter. Disadvantage for the dodge. He gets a 18 to hit you, fighter.
That'll hit.
7 points of piercing damage. And then this wolf is going to try to throw off the slow. He's going to succeed, so the wolf is no longer slowed. The rider is going to make his attack. He's slowed, but he has advantage because you're currently prone. You're currently dodging. Dirty 20 to hit you.
Yep.
And he's going to do 10 points of slashing damage with his axe.
Ouch.
He's going to try to throw off his slow. He's going to fail to do that. The wolf is going to move to here, ready in action to move when the rider shoots. The rider's going to shoot. Oh, he has disadvantage because you're dodging. He has disadvantage because you're prone. He's going to get a 7 to hit you, and then the wolf's going to move him back to here. This wolf's going to do the same thing. Take a shot, disadvantage, 13 to hit you. Down here, Direwolf is going to throw an attack at the cleric. He's going to get a 19 to hit your cleric.
Miss.
Then the rider is going to throw his 2 attacks against the cleric. First attack is an 18 to hit you. Second attack is a 9 to hit.
Miss.
That's all of my guys.
What's the range on pack tactics?
5 feet. After that, we go to the AzureWolf.
Man, I feel like I'm burning a bunch of resources, but it's needed in this fight, unfortunately. Let's move west. Get a clear line of sight for Shatter, 2nd level. Con DC 16, 19.
Wow, that's a lot of damage. The northern Orog is going to fail and drop. The wolf he's riding cannot survive that. Southeastern Orog is going to get failure, so he's going to take 19. He's going to drop. The wolf is going to survive this. He's going to take a lot of damage. The Orog on the ground is going to fail 19 points of damage and drop.
Whew. I think I'm in a good position right where I am.
After the AzureWolf, it's the BlindOracle.
We're going to break stealth and shoot the wolf to the north. Just to finish this.
It's got cover for the intervening brush.
At advantage. 26 to hit.
Connect.
That's respectable. 27 points of damage.
That will drop the Direwolf.
Bonus action to hide. 23. That's my turn.
After that, we go to the owl.
Alright, fighter, are you gonna attack this round?
Yeah.
What's your plan to go after one of the goblins or?
Probably the wolf in the south.
Okay, so I'll aggravate that southern wolf or the fighter.
After the owl, we're going to go to the dingo.
I'm gonna stand behind LongFish, pull out my pike, drop my axe, and attack the wolf. 12.
Where's that advantage?
23.
23 will hit.
10 damage.
Direwolf is going to drop. He's going to use his reaction to land in that square.
16 to hit the other guy.
16 is a miss.
And my turn.
After that, we go to the longfish.
Is anyone below half hit points?
Me and the fighter.
Top Channel Divinity, you guys can divide up 40 hit points.
I'll take 3.
That's half of 76.
38.
So you can go up to 38, and you're currently at 8, so you can accept 30 of those hit points.
Don't do that.
So that leaves, 7 left? BlindOracle, do you need any of them?
Yes, I need hit points. No, I'm not below half.
Alright, that's my action. Yeah, I'll just stand there. That's it.
After that, we're going to go to the Orogs. We're going to move through the brush, because we don't want to swing against Cleric, because it's too hard to hit. First attack, he's going to get an 11 to hit your fighter.
Nope.
Second attack, he's going to get a 20 to hit your fighter.
Yes.
That will do 12 points of slashing damage.
Good thing I got healed.
The wolf is going to move to there and line up a shot. Going to ready an action to move away after the goblin takes a shot. Goblin's going to take a shot at the wizard. He's going to get a 19 to hit your wizard.
Shield.
And the wolf is going to move back to there. Second wolf is going to move to there, line up a shot. He's going to shoot at the owl. 11 to hit the owl.
11 is his AC. Is that behind the rock there? Because he's in the brush.
He has cover, that's absolutely right, so that's going to miss. After the Orogs, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Don't like this guy getting close, so as I'm moving to the northwest, I'm going to fire a firebolt. Nat 1's going to miss.
BlindOracle.
Let's go ahead and pop out and take a shot at the Orog. 23 to hit
23 hits.
for 18 points of damage. Still standing?
Still standing.
No, we'll take the hide action. 25.
Owl.
Aggravate for the fighter.
After that, we go to the dingo.
I'm going to drop my pike and pick up my axe.
Which makes sense, because the axe is going to do more damage.
I'm gonna stab the guy in front of him.
Advantage on the first attack.
15 to hit.
15 is going to miss, bounces off the plate armor.
19.
19 will hit.
15 slashing.
Dingo, can you shift to the northeast?
Don't move.
He's like here.
I mean west, I'm sorry. To kind of keep him in the range.
So if he moves to there, it's not going to change anything. This actually allows him to get closer to you more easily. If he moves to here, it's going to prevent him from going towards you. After that, we're going to go to the longfish.
Hit him with a Sacred Flame.
He's going to pass.
That's it.
After that, we're going to go to the Orogs. Orog's going to attack the fighter. 21 to hit your fighter.
That'll hit.
15 points of slashing damage with the great axe. Second attack, 16 to hit you.
That'll miss.
Goblins are going to try to line up a shot against the wizard. I think if I go to there, you're not going to get cover from the rocks. So that's what I'm going to do. Ready in action to move back after the goblin shoots. Goblin's going to shoot. He's going to get a 16 to hit you.
I'll just take it.
6 points of piercing. You concentrating on anything?
Slow, but I mean, there's no point I can just drop it.
And then the wolf's going to move back with its ready in action. This guy's going to move over here. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to get a 17 to hit you.
Yeah, I'll take it too.
4 points, and the wolf moves back. After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Yeah, let's move up north so I can get a line of sight on that wolf and shoot it. Firebolt. That's a 19.
19 hits.
12.
12 points of damage will drop that wolf.
Yeah, south and fall prone.
After that, we're going to go to BlindOracle.
So I think you guys have the Orog handled to the south. I'm going to see if I can pick off the goblins that are picking on the wizard. Let's go one north of the wizard. Take a shot at the exposed goblin in the open. 20 to hit, dirty 20 to hit.
20 will connect.
22 points of damage. Move east 1 and hide action. 28.
After the BlindOracle is the owl.
Aid the fighter.
After the owl is the dingo.
Let's see if we can hit this thing. That is a 15 with advantage.
That'll miss.
And then, well,
A 12 will also miss. After the dingo is the longfish.
Dex 16 save again. Sacred Flame.
And he's going to fail this time.
For a total of 12 damage.
12 points of damage will drop him.
Alright, I'm going to start heading back up.
After the longfish is the lone goblin. Lone goblin is going to take the regular shot at the cleric. So the wolf is going to move to here and ready in action to move away after the goblin shoots. Goblin's going to shoot the cleric. Goblin's going to get a 6. The wolf is going to use its ready action to move away after the goblin shot. After the Orog team is the AzureWolf.
Let's stand up. Northeast. Fire firebolt at the wolf. 23.
23 will connect.
18 point.
18 points is going to drop him, so the goblin dismounts with his reaction.
I think that's all my movement, right? Yeah, I'm going to play in no man's land for a turn.
BlindOracle.
We're going to move east 1 square, shoot the goblin from there. 26 to hit
26 will hit.
for 31 points of damage.
31 points of damage. Kill him 3.5 times over. Report hit points.
I am currently at 53 out of 67 hit points.
20 hit points.
34 of 61 hit points.
11 hit points.
Anyone have any pre-rest actions they wish to use? Hit dice.
Used all 8 to get my 40 back.
Used 2 dice, got 14.
I used 4 hit dice to get back to 61 HP. That was a total of 27 HP.
Using 6 hit dice, 61 HP.
Any post-rest actions that people wish to take?
I want to use my arcane recovery, but I got a question for the party. Would you rather me have a fireball or a shatter and 2 shields back?
Well, shatter and 2 shields gets you more mileage, right?
Yeah, but a fireball could help coming up.
How many fireballs do you have left?
2 at 4th level.
Shatter and 2 shields.
Shatter and 2 shields.
Roger that.
The iron bridge has been secured. Whatever is causing the slowdown of iron delivery is not caused by this, although the orcs working with the goblins is certainly strange. The adventurers will continue deeper into the jungle and figure out what is causing the slowdown of deliveries there. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand, LongFish.
Currently at 67 hit points, carrying my warhammer and my shield. I have 2 first level slots, 2 second level slots, 1 third level slot, and 2 fourth level slots. I have both of my channel divinity.
I have 60 HP. I use my arcane recovery to gain 2 first slots back, leaving me with 3, and 1 second slot back, leaving me with 3. And I have 2 fourth level slots remaining and full charges on my wand. I have my War Mage Rod and Spellbook.
I have 61 of 61 HP. I'm holding my +1 short bow.
I have 71 HP, Action Surge, and Second Wind are up, and I have my Great Axe in hand.
Monsters, abilities, items, and numbers. This encounter has 3 snakefolk Malisons and 4 swarms of poisonous snakes. Swarms of poisonous snakes are currently hiding from you guys, so let's go ahead and figure out what they've got. +4 to their stealth checks, so 14, 17, 16, 20. Who has the highest passive perception?
Passive perception 15.
So that will show you just number 1. Number 1 is hidden underneath that cart, but that's the only one that you guys are aware of. These are type 1 Malisons. They have a human body with a snake head. They have multi-attack with their scimitars, and they have a bite attack. They also have a long bow. Snakefolk Malisons can use animal friendship, which is why the snakes are on their team. They can also cast suggestion 3 times per day. They have magic resistance, and they can change shape into a medium-sized snake if they like, although that's never been particularly helpful. Terrain and effects. There's a bunch of difficult terrain, as one might expect, around the map. Some climbing terrain. The cliffs are DC 10 athletics checks to climb up if you want to do that. And there's some dangerous terrain. If you take a look, the horses on this map are all dangerous terrain. If you step in either of the spaces directly where the horse is or directly behind it, the horses will kick you. They have +5 to hit, 2d4 + 3 bludgeoning damage. The fire is a d6 fire damage. The water is difficult terrain unless you have a swim speed. Tactics. What are you guys thinking for tactics in this one?
Sprint forward and lay down.
You are aware one of them.
Yeah.
Kill one of them at a time?
Yeah. I also think we can kite these guys out.
Just because there could be more, Spirit Guardians might be the way to go. Cast it early, that way if they come into our range, do the huddle.
That works.
As for the other guys, do we have a target priority over there?
They're all about the same, so I think any of them could go first.
Focus damage.
Yeah, whoever goes first, pick a target and just follow.
Cool.
Let's roll some initiative then. Anybody have higher than a 20? Anybody have between a 20 and a 15?
19 on the clerk.
18 the owl.
Anybody have between a 15 and a 10?
14 on the rogue.
I have a 12 for the snake folk.
11.
And what do you got for me, Dingo?
8.
Longfish, you're up first.
Move me towards the rocks to the southeast, and I'll cast Spirit Guardian. It's me.
Action and movement. After that is the owl.
I think it's better to just get into the safety ring. Fly above the cleric.
After that, we're going to go to the Blind Oracle.
Bonus action to hide behind the fighter briefly. 18. We'll snap off a shot at advantage against the snakes in the cart. 27 to hit
27 will connect, even with the cover.
for 20 points of damage.
They are resistant to piercing damage, so they're only going to take 10 of that.
Good to know.
We will move 5 on the diagonal, though.
After the Blind Oracle is the snake folk. This guy's going to move to here. They're going to shoot at the guy who is concentrating on a spell. They're going to shoot at the cleric. 21 to hit you, cleric.
That will hit.
Kindly take 5 points of piercing damage and 7 points of poison damage. How do you feel about that poison damage? As a dwarf, you resist poison. You're only going to take 3 points of poison damage. Just a regular concentration save to keep your spell.
Roll a 12.
After that, we're going to go to the next guy. This guy's going to take a shot. Another 21 to hit you.
Jeez.
9 points of piercing, 9 points of poison. So what are you going to do with that poison?
I'll half that, 13 total.
And another concentration save.
Another 12.
And he's going to move down. And then this guy's going to move to here. He's going to get a 7 to hit you, so that's going to miss. Swarm of poisonous snakes can move 30. They're going to slither out from there and dash to the fighter to get an attack of opportunity off. The rest of them, yeah, they're good where they're at. After the snake folk is the AzureWolf.
Alright, Firebolt. I'm aiming for the snake that just charged the fighter. 9 plus 9, 18.
18 will connect.
12. So let's go south, move into the circle.
Dingo.
I'll chop up these snakes. 19.
19 hits.
Big old 8 damage.
8 damage. They resist slashing, so they're going to take 4.
And then 14.
14, you got it.
17 damage.
17 damage. They resist slashing, so they're going to take 8.
And then I'm going to move into LongFish's sword.
At that point, they're going to get their attack of opportunity against you. They get a 14 to hit.
Nope.
After that, we're going to go to the LongFish.
Do you want to hug the cover here?
I was gonna say you can move up a little bit to catch that thing.
Yeah. You want me to move east or move north?
Well, you can catch that snake that's right there if you move north.
Okay, yeah, I'll move north and then I'll just dodge.
After that, we're going to go to the owl.
I'm gonna aggravate it for myself, that snake to the northwest there, because fire seems to be the trick here.
After that, we're going to go to the BlindOracle.
Let's see if we can hide from snakes. Actually, not going to use the bow to do this. 1 second. I'm looking up using acid. 20-foot range. Cool. All right, so hide action behind the fighter, pop out, throw the acid.
From that spot, there's no hiding.
It's not worth it. Sure, hide. Halfling luck kicks in. 27. Take the shot with the bow. 21 to hit. That's 28 halved for 14.
That'll get rid of those snakes.
Move to the other side of the fighter.
After that, it goes on to the snake folk. You're dodging. We could trade damage. Let's do that. We're going to trade damage and see how this goes for me. So there's a shot with disadvantage at the cleric. Drop the nat 20 in favor of a 16 to hit your cleric.
Nope.
Okay. Second shot, 6. Third shot. Third shot's a 19.
20.
All right. After the snake folk, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Let's move north and shoot a 120 range. Let's go straight middle.
Okay, he's got cover behind the bush.
Ignore partial. 15.
15 will hit a snake folk Malison.
18. And let's slide right behind.
Woo! Conga line.
Trying to use that cleric as a shield for that range.
How many adventurers can hide behind the dwarf?
After that, we're going to go to the dingo.
How can I hide behind the dwarf? I'm just kidding. I'm going to move up 30 and dodge.
After that, we're going to go to the longfish.
I'm gonna move 3 to the east and then dodge.
After that, we're going to go to the owl.
Yep, let's keep them right on top of the fighter.
After the owl is the BlindOracle.
Let's go ahead and move up behind the fighter. We will take a bonus action to hide. Halfling luck kicks in again. 17. We'll snap the shot off and see what happens. You miss 100% of the shots you do not take. 24 to hit.
24 will connect.
Ugh, for an abysmal damage roll. 20 points of damage.
An abysmal 20 points of damage. Got it. After the BlindOracle is the snake folk. Let's start by shooting at the wizard. No cover. You're not prone. 21 to hit you, wizard.
Kick.
Take 7 points of piercing and 4 points of poison for 11 total. Second shot. 23 to hit you.
Boy, your dice are on point.
Yep, first round's always is 9 points of piercing and 2 points of poison for 11 total. Third shot, we're going to get a 17 to hit you.
Yeah, I'll shield.
Shield that one, you got it. After the snake folk is the AzureWolf.
Again, I think it's move forward and fire at the same one, the middle one that I was firing at, right? Because that's the one that's got the most now, or did the other one? No, the other one does, because the rogue did 20. So northern target, that's another 15, ignored and partial.
15 hits.
14 fire, let's fall prone.
After the AzureWolf is the dingo.
I'll move up another 30. I'll dodge.
After the dingo is the longfish.
Follow him, keep dodging.
After the longfish is the owl.
Same thing, let's move them up towards the fighter and just hang out.
BlindOracle.
The party moves a lot faster than I do. We'll move up behind the cleric. See if we can pick off that northernmost snake man again. Same process. Take the hide action. A 30 to hide.
30 will do it.
Take the shot. 24 to hit.
24 hits.
It's better. 29 points of damage. That's the turn.
After the BlindOracle, we're going to go to the snake folk. Dodging, dodging, not dodging, but has cover. So let's take a shot at the rogue. 23 to hit you.
That will hit.
5 points of piercing and 9 points of poison for a total of 14. You got any reactions to that?
Yeah, we'll half that one.
That guy's going to back up to there. Take 2 shots at the rogue. You got cover, but 7 to hit you with the first one.
Miss.
7 to hit you with the second one.
Miss.
After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Northern one moved out of sight range, right?
It's just moved backward. You still have line of sight to it. It has cover for all of the stuff in the way.
Honestly, I think the move here is just to drop an AoE at this point.
Shatter.
Yep, shatter.
60-foot range. That is not within range.
That's gonna change some things then.
Wand of Magic Missile.
That's probably the move, is Magic Missile. Let's expend 2 charges and Magic Missile down at that guy.
120-foot range. You got it.
That's 2 + 1, so 3 force per dice.
2 charges, 4 missiles, 3 damage each, 12 damage total. That guy will drop.
And falling down again like before.
Dingo.
I'm gonna dash 60.
Longfish.
Now that those boys have disadvantage, I am going to move up 3 and shoot a Sacred Flame at the southern one. Dex 16,
He failed. Give me some damage.
15 damage. That's me.
After that, we're going to go to the owl.
What's my range now? 50 gets me to the first one. Where could he go though, retreat-wise, is the question. That'll work. So let's aggravate him for the BlindOracle.
BlindOracle's turn.
Move up behind the cleric. Take the shot at the one I have advantage on. 27 to hit
27 hits.
for 27 points of damage. Call dodge. I can't call dodge. We could hide as a bonus action. My cover's going to walk away from me here very shortly is the only challenge, but better than nothing.
But the snake folk are going to go before that happens, so.
True. 21.
After that is the snake folk. This guy is going to walk away from the fighter, provoking an attack of opportunity.
28 to hit.
28 hits.
16 slashing.
16 slashing, that's pretty good. He's then going to move, hopping down off of the cliff, taking 4 points of damage on the way down, and he's going to cast Suggestion on the cleric, suggesting that you recast Spirit Guardians, excluding the Yanti from the spell and including your allies in the spell, and leave that running for the duration. That is his suggestion. Go ahead and make a Wisdom save, DC 13.
17 plus something.
I think you got like plus 9, 26. So that is not going to be suggested. This guy is going to do the exact same thing, except he's going to take the stairs, and then he's going to go to there. He's going to make the same suggestion that you recast Spirit Guardians, letting snakes into the circle and damaging allies with the circle. Go ahead and make another Wisdom save, DC 13.
22.
All right, well, I gave it a shot. Now the swarms are going to attack. Swarm is going to pop out of hiding here. That guy's going to dash to there. This swarm is going to pop out and go to there. He's going to attack the fighter. 18 to hit you, fighter.
That will hit.
Take 9 points of piercing damage as you're bit by a whole bunch of snakes, and give me a DC 10 Constitution save.
I passed my con save.
Take 19 points, reduced by half. 9 points of poison damage. Third guy is going to pop out of there. The snakes are going to dash over to there. After the snake folk is the AzureWolf.
Stand up. Shocking Grass is not worth it because I got 2 of them on me. I could disengage and run and move towards the bubble of friendliness.
No bonus action for you, Dingo.
I'm gonna chop up these snakes. 13 to hit.
13 will miss. Snakes avoid it.
19 to hit.
19 hits.
15 slashing.
15 turns into 7 as they reduce that by half.
I'm gonna walk down the stairs. One more square.
Okay, you're going to take an attack of opportunity from them.
Nah, never mind.
After that, we're going to go to the Longfish.
I'm gonna go west to the north of Wither. This is good. I don't want them to run out of the range either. I'm gonna throw a Sacred Flame at the southern snake man. Dex 16.
Yeah, these guys have magic resistance. He's going to pass that.
Oh, never mind. Alright, that's me.
After the Longfish is the Owl.
The northern one has more damage. Aggravate him for the BlindOracle. Behind the cart there for some cover.
BlindOracle.
Let's take the shot on the north one before we do anything. 25 to hit
25 hits.
for 19 points of damage. Still standing. And I'm going to go behind the cart on the diagonal, and then we'll take the hide action there. 26.
After the BlindOracle is the Snake Folk. The Mouses are going to do the exact same thing they just did. This guy's going to advance to there and cast a suggestion on the Cleric that he recasts and holds onto Spiritual Guardians, exempting the snakes from the ability. Go ahead and make a DC 13 Wisdom save to resist.
29.
29, that'll do it. This guy's going to move forward, cast the exact same spell. Go ahead and make a DC 13 Wisdom save to resist that one.
Wasted my second nat 20. 29.
I don't feel like I'm burning them out of you, but I do like the fact that I'm making you take them. Over here, we're going to start off in the zone, so give me some damage and tell me about it.
Wisdom 16. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. 20.
He'll take half of that because he got a 17. He's going to advance to there and try to bite the rogue. He's going to get a 22 to hit your rogue.
That'll hit.
Please take 4 points of piercing and a DC 10 Constitution save.
Passed. 16.
So you're only going to take half of this. Take 5 points of poison damage on the failed save. This guy's going to start in the zone. Give me some damage.
10.
He's going to fail, so he's going to take the full 10. And he's going to go after the wizard. Try to bite the wizard. He's going to get a 16 to hit your wizard.
Yeah, it's worth shielding just to get rid of that poison, because that poison's nasty.
It is indeed. Throw up the shield, and the snakes behind the fighter are going to throw down. They're going to get a 17 to hit your fighter.
That'll hit.
Take 9 points and a DC 10 Constitution save.
20.
14 turns into 7 points of poison. It's all my guys. After that is the AzureWolf.
Let's expend 3 and nuke this guy. Try to anyways, with magic missile. That is a 5.
5 times 5 missiles is going to be a total of 25 damage.
Let's shift to the west of the cleric.
You got it. After that, we're going to go to the dingo.
I'm gonna move between those two green guys.
You're going to walk away and take the attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Take a nat 20.
I'm immune to crits.
God! Okay. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I always forget that in the middle. Like, first encounter, I remember it. Take 8 points of piercing and give me a DC 10 Constitution save.
18.
18 will pass. You're only going to take 4 of the 8 poison.
And whichever one's damaged, I'm gonna attack. Big old 2. 11.
11 is not going to do it, unfortunately.
About 25.
25 will connect.
7 damage.
7's exactly what you needed. That is his hit point total, so he drops.
And then I'm gonna second win. I'm gonna heal for 18.
18, that's a whole mess of hit points.
And end my turn.
After the dingo is the longfish.
Drop a Sacred Flame on that. Dex 16 save.
And they're going to pass with a 19.
Yeah, I'll stay there.
After the longfish is the owl.
BlindOracle can't use his range without disadvantage. I guess give him advantage so it'll cancel it out.
No, I have a plan.
Okay then. Yeah, let's give myself advantage on the ones that's next to me.
Owls, the natural predators of snakes. BlindOracle, what do you got?
We're going to disengage as an action and then stand behind the cleric, and then we're going to lob acid at the bundle of snakes in front of the cleric. Halfling luck kicks in. Still not going to do anything though. A 3, which is an 8 total.
Yeah, that'll miss, unfortunately. After the BlindOracle, we go to the snake folk. Snake folk are going to do what snake folk does. Start off in the zone, so tell me about the damage.
5.
I'm going to fail, so I'm going to take all 5 of those points of damage. This guy's going to go after the rogue. 22 to hit your rogue.
Yep.
Take 9 points of piercing.
We'll half that.
And a DC 10 Constitution save.
19.
Take 11, turns into 5 points of poison. This guy's going to throw down against the wizard. He's going to get a 17 to hit your wizard.
Did the snake that attacked the wizard eat my damage?
No, give me some damage.
17.
17. Okay, that is lethal. Good catch. This guy's going to charge on after the fighter, and then he's going to try to bite the fighter. 9 to hit your fighter.
That'll miss.
This guy's going to cast his final suggestion on the cleric, suggesting that the cleric recast the spiritual guardians, exempting all of the snakes and including all of the allies in the damage. Go ahead and make a DC 13 wisdom save to resist that.
25.
Okay, well, I'm trying. The AzureWolf.
Since I do get advantage on that one to the north, I'm still going to shoot him. Firebolt. That is not looking good. At a 14?
14 will connect. That's what you need.
15 fire? Let's move to the south, avoiding the horse. That's probably dead by this point.
After that, we're going to go to the dingo.
I'm gonna attack the big guy. Big ol' rolls today. 13.
13 is a hit.
It'll be 17 slashing. 20 to hit. 16 slashing.
16 is lethal.
Got him.
After the dingo is the longfish.
I need, what, 4 squares to catch the other snake? Yeah, I can only catch one of them. I'll try to save the rogue. I'll stay there. Throw a Sacred Flame at the snake in front of the rogue.
He's going to pass. 22.
Alright, that's me.
After the longfish is the owl.
Aggravate for the BlindOracle, the snakes.
After that is the BlindOracle.
Disengage is a bonus action. Guess we try the throwing the acid bottle again. Backing up. Let's try this again with advantage on throwing the acid bottle. 22 to hit
22 will connect.
for 66 points of acid damage. 25.
That is certainly lethal, and these snakes drop.
Beautiful.
There we go. That was what was supposed to happen last time with the roll.
You got 4 more squares of movement. What do you want?
The other side of the cleric, please.
After that, we're going to go to the snake folk. Snake folk's got 1 attack to make. Snake folk's going to get a 17 to hit you.
Go ahead.
6 points of piercing. And a DC 10 Constitution save.
15.
That'll pass. Take 5 points of poison after the reduction. And then we're going to pass on to AzureWolf.
Step up, shoot a firebolt. That's a 19.
19 will connect.
14 fire? Yeah, I don't really need to move. So good.
After that, we're going to go to the dingo.
I will attack. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
11 slashing.
11 slashing turns into 5 slashing.
22.
22 hits.
15 slashing.
15 turns into 7.
Walk away into the circle.
Walk away and take the attack of opportunity. He's going to get a nat 1 on that.
Oh, you got lucky as heck, buddy.
All according to plan.
After that, we go to the LongFish.
Everyone's in the circle.
You can just move on top of it.
Yeah, I'll move on top and I'll throw a Secret Flame at it. Dex 16.
They're going to get a 9, so they're going to fail that.
12 damage.
12 damage will drop them.
Woohoo!
Report hit points.
46 hit points.
36 of 61 hit points.
38.
32.
Anyone have any end of encounter actions they wish to do?
Yeah, I think I will burn one of the potions on my sheet to pick up, is it 2d4 plus 2 hit points? 7.
Yeah, it's probably a smart move for me too. 10 hit points.
The labor camp has been discovered, but there are no laborers here. The mystery as to what's happening to the iron deliveries from deep in the jungle is still at large. The adventurers continue along the trail, hopefully trying to find the mine and discovering what's going on. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand.
Currently at 46 hit points. I have my Warhammer and my shield. I have 2 first level slots, 2 second level slots, and 2 fourth level slots. Both of my channel divinity.
Currently at 43 of 61 hit points, holding the short bow plus 1.
Holding the Wand of the War Mage in my spellbook, I am at 48 hit points. The Wand of Magic Missiles has 2 slots remaining. I have 1 first, 3 second, 2 fourth level spell slots.
I am currently at 32 hit points. Action Surge ready. I have my Great Axe in hand.
Monsters, abilities, items, and numbers. In this encounter, we have a Snakefolk Abomination. These are a powerful version of Snakefolk monsters. They have the ability to do suggestion, just like the Malisons do. They can also cast fear. They resist magic. They have a variety of attacks. They have multi-attack, so they can make 2 ranged attacks or 3 melee attacks. They can bite, they can constrict, they have a scimitar attack, and they have a longbow attack. They have 2 giant constrictor snakes that are associated with them. The giant constrictor snakes are big and beefy. They can bite and they can constrict, but they can only do one or the other. They do not have multi-attack. They have regular sized constrictor snakes. They're small and stringy, and they can bite and they can constrict as well. Terrain and effects. There's a bunch of difficult terrain here. 3 large trees that have larger than normal tree trunks. The cliffs are DC 10 athletics checks to climb up them. Tactics. What do you guys think for tactics on this one?
If they can climb up the cliff, then we don't have a choke point.
They do not have a climb speed any better than yours. They have decent strength, so they might be able to, just do a regular athletics check to climb it.
There's not really any traps you could lay down, is there, that would help us here?
I could throw hunting traps and caltrops to slow them down, but that's about all I got.
Probably just gonna be our patent, big monster spank and tank type thing.
Should I burn another Spirit Guardian?
I don't know.
50-50 on it. What about you guys? Because I'd like to save the resources. I'm gonna try to go light on the resources here.
I think if we go up that center, just gun him down, wait for him to come to us.
Could do that. For ease of use, I'm probably going to take a position on the cover above the mountain pass and shoot down.
I was going to say, if we're on top of the mountain, they're either going to have to try and climb or go around.
I think that's our best plan.
Let's roll up some initiative.
Ooh, my first high ones tonight.
Anybody have higher than a 20?
21 for the rope.
Anybody have between a 20 and a 15?
17.2 on the wizard, 17.1 on the owl.
17 minus 1 on the clerk.
Anybody have between a 15 and a 10? I have a 12 for the snakefolk. What do you got for me, Dingo?
3.
You on the ball tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm balling.
Rogue, kick us off.
It's going to be a move and a dash to get into the bush on the top side of and then a hide action once I'm in the bush. 21.
After the rogue is the wizard.
The plan's to head north, right? Ooh, let's start moving. Up and then dash over.
After that, we go to the owl.
Let's get them right up there next to the rogue and hide. That is a 17.
After that, we're going to go to the cleric.
Dash after the wizard.
After that, we're going to go to the snakefolk. Giant constrictor snakes can move 30, and they can dash for 60. We're going to send these guys up here. Pretty much all this terrain is difficult terrain for him because he's so large. So he's going to wind up there. This snake's going to go, so he's going to wind up there. This guy is going to go, he's going to move to there. And this guy's going to go, yeah, he's just going to move to there. He's going to back up to there and take a shot at the wizard. First shot, 19 to hit you, wizard.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay. Take 17 points of piercing and 11 points of poison for 28 total. Second shot. He's going to get an 8 on the second attack.
Negative.
Those are my snake folk. After that, we go to the dingo.
I'm going to dash 2 squares above the wizard.
Rogue.
I'm hoping the rogue can hide his way out of those.
Yeah, that's the plan, and that should be okay. I can see the big snake, yeah?
He's got cover, but just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll shoot him. Breaking stealth, getting advantage, all that good stuff. It's a 15 hit
15 will connect, yeah.
for 18 points of damage. Take the hide bonus action. 28, no movement.
Onto the wizard.
Target the guy who shot me with firebolt. That is a 24.
24 hits.
11 points of damage. And let's get behind the cleric.
Al,
60 to that snake down at the bottom right. Aggravate him for the rogue for his next shot.
you want to fly behind this tree, up in the air so that you're out of line of sight of the only ranged attacker. After that, we're going to go to the cleric.
Spider's already blocking off the way. I'm gonna throw bonus action spiritual weapon behind the big snake, and it's gonna attack the snake for a 14
14 will hit.
for a total of 8 damage. An action dodge.
After the cleric is the snake folk. Well, that fighter's not dodging, so this guy's going to slither on up to there. He's going to make his constrict attack against the fighter. He's going to get a 23 to hit your fighter.
Jeez.
Yep.
18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
You are grappled. It's escape either acrobatics or athletics DC 16 to get out. You are also restrained. This snake is going to slither. He's going to try to climb up the cliff here. He's going to pass his athletics check to do that, so that he's going to dash. These snakes are going to go to try to sniff out a rogue. He's going to go to there, so this guy's going to slither over here with a dash. Abomination's going to take 2 shots. Let's go for the fighter, who's not dodging, who's restrained. There we go. I have advantage on the shot. 21 to hit you, fighter.
Yep.
18 points of piercing.
I'm down.
Second shot we're going to take at the cleric. You got cover from the snake in front of you, and you're dodging. I get a 10 on the first die. That's a miss. After that, we go to the fighter. Death saving throw.
11.
An 11 will get a success. Top of the order is BlindOracle.
So I have advantage to shoot the snake that is to the southwest. We'll take that shot because it's there. 28 to hit.
Will hit.
Ugh, for 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage is lethal.
Okay, that solves one snake problem, but there are many other snake problems. Let's take the hide bonus action. 21. I'd like to go 1 to the east, 1 north as well.
After that, we go to the AzureWolf.
What if I try to push that snake off with the wind fan, but I want to move diagonal to the southeast to not get the cleric aiming out over the cliff?
After the AzureWolf is the owl.
Let's do the one to the west for the rogue, because that's a smarter move, and then hide again behind the tree.
After that is the LongFish.
I am going to run up to Dingo and cast a level 2 Cure Wounds.
Is that better than a Preserve Life, Channel Divinity?
Actually, no, it's not. You're right. Channel Divinity, Preserve Life.
Dingo, what's half your hit points?
38.
Anybody can use the remaining 2.
Me, I'll take the 2.
That's an action. What else you got?
Bonus action, move spiritual weapon to the big snake and hit it. 18 to hit
18 hits.
for 9 damage. That's me.
After that, we're going to go to the snake folk. This guy's going to start his turn in the wind fan.
It's a DC 14 strength.
DC 14 strength. He's going to fail.
15 feet away from me.
He's going to take 4 as he falls off the cliff. That was not part of his movement. It's difficult terrain going up here, right? Okay, we'll just dash laterally. He's going to move to there. This guy's going to move around here, get to the wizard. He's going to try to constrict the wizard. 16 to hit your wizard.
I will definitely pop that shield because of that poison that comes with that.
Restrain, not a poison. You're still going to pop the shield?
Heck yes.
Then that guy is done with his turn. This guy is going to... I cannot get to you. Yeah, that's as far as we can get. He's going to go to there. He does not know where you are, so he's going to ready an action to attack if he gets line of sight to you.
Okay.
He thinks you are in this bush, so that's what he's going to do. Abomination's going to take shots at the wizard. 22 to hit your wizard.
Unfortunately, that's going to hit.
Does shooting through the wind wall do anything?
Nope, it's just movement and knockback. That'll be 16 points of piercing and 4 points of poison for 20 total.
Need a con save. 17.
Second shot, nat 1. He's going to duck behind a tree. After my snake folk is the fighter. You're prone.
I'm gonna stand up and attack the big snake. 21.
21 hits.
15 slashing and a critical hit.
Yep.
For 15 damage. I will action search and do it again.
Smart move. Get this thing out of here.
20.
20 will hit.
11 damage and a 15
15 will hit.
for a 9 damage.
9 damage is lethal.
Got him.
Can you play cover for me or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna move south. I'm gonna jump down and get in a melee with that snake.
You jump down there. Go ahead and take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you drop the 10 feet down. Rogue.
Okay, so the big snake has a 10-foot...
You are not within its threat range. It doesn't know that, though.
Cool, perfect. I wanted to make sure.
And you have advantage on him.
Yeah, we're going to pop out and shoot him. 17 to hit.
A 17 will connect, even with the cover.
Wow. Large, slow objects. 33 points of damage?
You might need to cut tail and run.
Yeah, it's time to get out of here. Jump off the cliff edge.
So you can climb down. It's 10 feet down, an extra square to get down. You climb at regular speed.
I need more movement than that, so I'm just going to have to eat the d6.
Take 5 on the way down.
Okay. We're going to run into those bushes and take a hide action is what we're going to do. 23.
After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Let's drop concentration. It did its purpose. That guy's got partial cover, or is that full cover over there to the east?
That'll be 3/4 cover.
If I move up a little bit, would it help?
Yeah, that'll work.
Sending a firebolt downrange? That is a 14?
That will miss, I think. Yeah, he has natural armor of 15.
Fall prone!
And fall prone, there it is. After that, we're going to go to the owl.
Aggravating for me, the guy to the east.
It's 9 to get to him. You good with that?
Ooh, no, I'm not really, but the other one's just as far. And I could fly up.
Well, you could fly up, but you're still in line of sight of the artillery, so...
Yeah. I think the move is just to move to the northwest of the tree there, and then next round will be the advantage.
After the owl, we go to the longfish.
I'm going to start with a bonus action, move the spiritual weapon towards the constrictor snake. I'm going to do a very dumb thing. I'm going to climb down behind that small constrictor snake.
You do not have the movement to climb down that cliff. It's a 10-foot cliff, so it's a 20-foot climb.
I'll stay on top then. Sacred Flame, dex 16.
He fails.
Takes 9 damage.
9 is exactly what you needed. That guy drops. After that, we're going to go to the snake folk. We're just going to go for the cleric. Move to there and try to snipe the cleric. First shot. 18 to hit you.
Nope.
Okay, second shot. Another 18 to hit you.
Nope.
Okay, it's going to move over to there. This guy's going to go to there. It's going to try to bite the fighter because it has a 10-foot reach on its bite. Nat 20 to get you, fighter, but I'm not going to freak out this time. 14 points of piercing damage, though.
Ouch.
After that, we're going to go to the fighter.
Alright, I'm going to fight the big snake to the south.
Drop your axe, pick up your pike.
Yeah, sure. 23 to pike him.
You got it?
9 damage.
How do you guys do this? Another 9 points of damage, exactly what you needed.
Just that good. Move 30 feet east.
After that, we go to the rogue.
Let's move on the diagonal to the northeast. Shoot the snake. 17 to hit.
17 connects.
Oh, it does. That surprised me. 27 points of damage. Let's keep moving on the diagonal and then hide in the bush next to the tree.
You can't be in the bush because that's going to be 2 squares to get into the bush, which you don't have at that point.
Why don't you move me back and move me 1 south then? The hide roll at that point is a 26.
AzureWolf,
I can shoot prone, right?
is there any reason you can't stand up and shoot?
Because I wanted to hold the firebolt till after the owl gave me advantage.
Interesting. Okay, prone. You have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, so standing up then. Screw it. Risk it for the biscuits. I would like to hold my firebolt till once my owl gives me advantage.
Okay, do you want to move into line of sight also?
Yes, please.
Cast the spell, ready action to release it when you have advantage from the owl.
No bonus.
Owl.
This is do or die, guys. Move in.
Where's the next 3?
To the east, I'm guessing, is the best move. That tree line.
Triggered action.
18?
18 will connect.
13. Yeah, I'm going down.
After that, we're going to go to the longfish.
Oh, I can't get into range.
Why don't you go stand in front of the wizard?
Yeah, I'll go be the meat shield.
If you've got a level 1 in your pocket, throw a heal.
I'll do a cure wounds on the wizard. 14 points.
Oh boy, I'm back at 16.
Move my spiritual weapon towards that snake.
Slow march of the spiritual weapon. After that is the snake folk. Snake folk is going to take a shot at fighter. You're not dodging or nothing, right? Longbow shot is going to be a 17 to hit you.
That is just enough to hit.
16 points of piercing damage and 14 points of poison damage.
I'm down.
That poison is rough.
And then the next shot will be at the cleric. 16 to hit your cleric.
That will miss.
And then we're going to move to there. After that, we're going to go to the fighter. Death saving throw.
19. Since 19's a critical for me, I get to stand up.
Then we're going to go on to the rogue.
He's got half cover from where he's standing if I take the shot from there.
Plus 2 AC, that's right.
Take the shot from right here. Ooh, well, halfling luck kicks in, which is useful. 26 to hit
26 will connect.
Oh, please drop this thing.
for 29 points of damage. He's not dead yet, is he?
Nope.
Good lord. This thing just does not want to die.
The trees are hard cover, yes? Block line of sight.
The tree stumps will block line of sight, that's right.
So let's go as far north as I can and then dash action to stand behind the tree stump. Not hidden, but I figure that's about as safe as that's going to get.
After the rogue is going to be the wizard.
I'm good on the range, right?
105? Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. Ready the action for the owl to give me aid.
Sounds good. After that, we go to the owl. Owl's going to fly in like that.
Perfect.
And that triggers the wizard.
Yep, 19.
19 will connect.
8 on the die.
After that, we go to the cleric.
Move me forward 5. So I'll pop my second channel divinity. 38 for the fighter and then 2 for the wizard, or half and half.
That too would give me 20 life left.
Yeah, Okay, let's do that.
Bonus action is to march the hammer forward.
I hope the hammer gets the final kill.
After that, we go to the snake folk. Snake folk is going to shoot first shot at the wizard.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
11 to hit your wizard.
Negative.
Second shot at the wizard. Nat 1. He's going to move 2 behind there. After that, we're going to go to the fighter.
I'm gonna dash.
You got it. Rogue.
Hide action for where we're standing. 23.
Mm-hmm.
Step around the tree. Take the shot from there.
Okay, he's got +5 AC.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not going to get better. 26 to hit.
Connect.
25 damage total.
And back.
Yeah.
After that, we go to the wizard.
He's got cover now.
+5 AC.
Moving forward isn't going to get me what I'm looking for. I think it's the same thing, just hold for the advantage.
Then the owl jumps in and jumps out, like so.
Correct.
The triggered shot for the wizard.
And that is a 21. I dropped the 1.
21 will do it.
18.
18 points of damage is lethal.
Yay!
Report hit points remaining.
38 of 61.
20.
46.
38.
Any pre-rest actions.
Would you guys like me to pop a level 4?
No, I don't know if you need to pop a level 4, but was it Prayer of Healing? Now's a good time to use that.
Yeah, I'll do the Prayer of Healing. 2d8 plus 9. Everyone, you get back 20.
Any other pre-rest actions.
Potion of healing for 6.
I will also use a potion of healing. 7 HP.
7 hit points. Hit dice. Anybody going to spend any hit dice during this rest?
17.
Spend the remaining 2.
Spending 2 hit dice for 15 total.
With the Yuan-Ti ambush successfully defeated, the adventurers have only a short walk left to find the mine and discover the source of the iron delivery disruptions. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand, fear no equal.
I am carrying my +1 Great Axe in hand. I have 76 out of 86 hit points. I have Second Wind and Action Surge available. That's pretty much it.
So I have 61 out of 61 hit points, courtesy of Aid, holding the +1 short bow.
46 out of 60 hit points. I have used up all but 2 charges left on the Wand of Magic Missiles. I have 3 second level slots remaining, 2 fourth level slots remaining, and my Wind Fan charge has been used along with my Arcane Recovery.
67 hit points. Currently wielding my Warhammer and my shield. I have 1 level 1 spell, no level 2 or level 3 slots, and 2 level 4 slots. And both charges on Channel Divinity.
The adventurers have made their way to the iron mine that is not producing or shipping any iron out to the civilized areas. Having discovered why the elven Magus Kurtz is not delivering any more iron, they've discovered the people that have been sent up here have been brainwashed by a green dragon, and so they will fight against the brainwashed elven mage, 3 elven berserkers, and 6 kobolds that are hanging out with them. Monsters' abilities, items, and numbers. The elven mage has a variety of spells: detect magic, mage armor, which has already been cast, magic missile, and shield, misty step, suggestion, counterspell, fireball, fly, greater invisibility, ice storm, and cone of cold. They also have firebolt, light, mage hand, and prestidigitation. Other than that, they've got a dagger, which they're probably not going to use. Berserkers have reckless, so they can attack with advantage with their melee attacks, and then they have advantage to hit them in return. They have great axes that they can swing. The kobolds have daggers and pack tactics, so they have advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of their allies is within 5 feet of it. They also have sunlight sensitivity, which gives them disadvantage on attack rolls. That's going to give them disadvantage out here because they're in the sunlight, it's daytime. They're always going to be at disadvantage, but they might also get it back for the pack tactics. Terrain and effects. So there's a bunch of different pieces of terrain here. There's a bunch of difficult terrain, a couple of trees, the impassable terrain that comes along with their trunks. In addition to that, there are sections that are kind of rickety and wobbly, either wooden bridges or I-beams. It's a DC 15 acrobatics check to balance on any of the red areas. That's a maximum of 1 check per turn and no check to leave them. The drop down to the bottom is 40 feet, so that would be 4d6 if something falls down there, and no check to climb out of the drop. So you can make your way back up, but it's still 40 feet. It's going to take you a while to do that. Tactics. What do you guys think for tactics for this one?
Do not group up because of the caster.
Kill the mage as fast as we can.
What do we have left in the tank as far as AoE?
I can burn 3 second levels for Shatter. That'll use up whatever remaining shields I have. I hate to use a second level slot on a shield anyways, but if it comes down to it, I'll have to. And I have 2 shots at a fireball at 4th level.
The kobolds with an AoE are actually the first priority. Just knock down as many as you can with an early AoE, and then the mage.
Should I pop a Spirit Guardian against the Berserkers, or save the 4th level spells for healing?
I think yes. With 3 Berserkers, Spirit Guardians is going to get you a lot of value.
Yeah, especially if you can get up there in front first, because I think the rogue and me are going to have to stay away from you guys because we can't do our normal let's hang out in the circle thing. So if we can maybe create a chokehold on that northern section there above that long rickety piece in the middle there, that might be the way to go.
How many ways can they flank us? If we block off the middle section, they have to come at us from the sides, right?
It looks like they can jump that gap. It's not a big gap there.
Neither us nor the mage have direct line of sight to each other.
You could pretty easily get it. Getting any sort of elevation is going to get you up that. These are not like walls that block line of sight.
Those are guardrails.
Yeah, guardrails, exactly.
Alright, so get Spirit Guardian up. Try to stand at the front.
I'm going to be probably dodging a lot, try and soak up some of those berserkers.
Maybe polymorph that mage just to slow him down.
Anything that we can do to silence him, yeah.
It's going to come down to initiative, I think, honestly.
It always does.
I have a scroll of banishment. Can we just banish him? Or try to banish him?
Do we know what kind of mage he is?
Elven.
Do we know if he's a wizard or a sorcerer?
They're not a class. They are neither a wizard nor a sorcerer. They have access to wizard spells, but they don't have class levels because they're not a character.
That's good. That means that banishment is probably a good option because he's not necessarily going to have a great charisma save.
Let's throw down then. Everybody roll initiative.
Whoo, not good.
Anybody get higher than a 20? Anybody have between a 20 and a 15?
The rogue has a 16.
Anybody have between a 15 and a 10?
11 on the dwarf.
11 on the wizard.
Anybody have between a 10 and a 5?
6 on the fighter.
6. I'm going to go before you.
Duke Ellington has a 5.
BlindOracle kicks off.
You are too far away for me to do the normal thing. I would like to take the diagonal northeast into the center of that bush. Then we'll take the hide action as a bonus action. Hey, Halfling Luck kicks in. 24.
Well, the kobolds with their passive perception of 3 are going to fail. The berserkers with their passive perception of 10 are going to fail. And the mage with its passive perception of 11 is also going to fail.
So, I can't fail a stealth check this encounter. I'm at disadvantage if I take the shot from here, I think.
I get you a 22 to the mage.
Is it worth my time for me to start pot-shotting berserkers for you guys?
You miss 100%, you don't take.
Give me that first berserker in front then. 23.
23 will connect, even with the cover.
23 damage. That's turn.
So after that, we're going to go to LongFish.
Move me to the west of the round thing. Is that cover?
Yeah, you got cover behind that.
Okay, I'll just dodge.
After that, we're going to go to AzureWolf.
I could shoot the berserker and then get in position for a shatter. I think that's the way to go. Let's shoot that berserker that the rogue shot. Firebolt. Ooh, that's not going to do it with an 11 probably.
11's a miss.
Let's move southeast at diagonal 3 spaces, please. They've got bows. Let's go prone.
The mage buffs ranged attacks, melee attacks. The mage is going to throw a fireball. Drop it right there to hit everybody. 21 damage or 10 if you save. Everybody make a DC 14 dexterity save.
Nat 20, so 22.
17.
A 10.
6.
1 second, I'm trying to get to the owl sheet. I'm pretty sure he's going to fail it anyway.
Doesn't matter. Pass or fail, he's going to take some damage and die. Owl's going to drop. Kobolds have a range of 120. First one. 10 to hit you, wizard.
Negative.
Second shot from this guy. 15 to hit you.
I'll let that one go.
Take 3 points of damage. This guy's going to take a shot. 17 to hit you.
Yeah, okay.
Take 5 points of damage. This guy up here, he's going to get a 10 to hit you.
Negative.
This guy over here, he's going to get an 8 to hit you. And this guy back here, he's going to get a 10 to hit you as well. Berserkers have 30 feet of movement. She's going to move to there. She's going to move to there. And she's going to move to there. That's all my guys. After that is Fear No Equal.
I'll move up to 2 spaces below the cleric and dodge.
After that, we go to the... Oop, Hal's dead. After that, we go to the BlindOracle.
So let's move 1 east and then 1 diagonal northeast. That should put me in line of sight of the first berserker without cover from LongFish.
You're going to have cover.
19 to hit.
19 will connect.
Standing in melee with a friendly. Trigger sneak dice even without the hide. 23 points of damage. Stealth check. 18. That's the turn.
After that, we're going to go to LongFish.
I am going to use Spirit Guardian at 4th level.
Oh.
Nominating all the allies to save.
You can't see the rogue. Your passive perception is...
15.
He got an 18. So you're going to move first?
Move 1 south.
Okay, yeah, move 1 south.
Perfect.
Exclude your 2 visible allies from the effect. What else you got?
I can't cast a spell, so that's it.
AzureWolf?
I gotta be about halfway down that bridge to get in range of casting on that caster. Let's stand up. That'll be the first thing to do. Hate to use a shatter on just 2 of them, but
Target between the second one and the third one, you might be able to hit all 3.
shatter's small.
Oh, it's only 10 foot.
If you target the one to the northeast of the second, you should be able to hit them all.
No, you pick a crosshair. Pick a spot that is the intersection of the lines. You get the zones outside of that. You don't pick a square to drop it in, because then you wind up with half squares, and what does that mean? And
I think it's just hit the 2 and let's move on. Con DC 16, taking 17.
the western one gets a 16, so they're going to take half. The eastern one gets a 7, so they're going to take full.
Let's move south 2.
That was AzureWolf. We're going to go to the mage again. Mage is going to throw another fireball, because why not? Rogue is hidden. Don't want to hit my allies. So that'll hit AzureWolf, Fear No Equal, and LongFish. Go ahead and make a DC 14 dexterity save against 23 fire or 11 if you save.
Roll a 17 again.
That's nice. For you, not so much for me.
11, 23 damage.
18.
Would you like to know what my spell save was?
I would like to know your concentration save, yes.
17 again.
Kobolds are going to throw down. They don't want to take the cover penalty. So you're going to be 15 with cover, 17. We're going to start with the wizard again. Disadvantage for long range, disadvantage for sunlight. 10 to hit you. This guy's going to throw. There it is, 17 to hit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. This guy's going to move down here and sling you. He's going to get a 16, so that will miss with your cover. This guy's going to throw. He's going to get an 8. That'll miss with your cover. That guy's going to get an 8 also, and then the guy in the back, he's going to get an 8 also. She's going to start off in the zone. Give me some damage.
DC 16. Wisdom save. 24 or 12?
She's going to take the 24 because she fails her wisdom save. She gets an 11. She's going to drop. Give me some damage for this one.
16 or 8?
Take the 16 because she failed, and she's going to move around back here. Recklessly attack the cleric. 14 to hit you. The other one is going to charge in there. She doesn't have any ranged attacks, so give me some damage.
17 or 8?
Take the 17 because she fails with a nat 1, and that's as far as she can go, so she's going to dash to there. After that, we're going to go to Fear No Equal.
I'll move up to the space above LongFish, and we're going to attack the one to the west using my Great Axe, and I have advantage because she recklessly attacked. That is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
7 damage. Second attack, still with advantage. Hey, that's a crit.
Of course it is.
Well, I do crit on 19s, which is what I got. So that's going to be a big old 12 damage. Second wind for D10 plus 8 is 16 total healing.
After that, we're going to go to top of the order, BlindOracle.
Which one is the most injured between the two of them directly south of me?
The western one is more injured than the eastern one.
We will shoot the westernmost berserker with advantage from exposing from stealth. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Oof, surprising. That's respectable damage. 28 points.
She will drop.
We're going to continue our sort of northeastern march and then take the hide bonus action.
Roll a number, 1 or higher, you pass.
26.
26 will do it. After that, we go to LongFish.
I'll take a swing at it. Sacred Flame. Dex 16 save.
You got it. She's going to fail with an 8.
Takes 11 damage. I'll move around her to her diagonal southeast. Yeah, that's the end of me.
After the LongFish is the AzureWolf.
Sorry guys, I should have did this earlier. Fireball. But let's upcast and send it down range at level 4. It's the only thing I got range-wise.
I think the only one it's cost anything of is you, so.
You can get the mage and the front kobold, or you can get the mage and the back kobold. Which one do you want?
Back Kobold. DC 16 Dex. That is 32.
The kobolds cannot survive, and the mage is going to take 32. That's an action. What else you got?
Make sure I'm at least out of range of Fireball from being targeted with all of them.
She can drop wherever she wants. You want to be outside of 8 of them?
Yeah, I'm either going to make her cost it to just hit me alone, or
Where they're positioned, I don't see that you...
that was more staying back here at this point.
Yeah, you actually can't. If you run to this square, she cannot drop it on both of you. You want that one?
Yeah, let's do that.
After that, we're going to go to the mage. Berserker's not going to survive this. Mage is not going to survive this either. Mage is going to cast greater invisibility on herself. She disappears.
Man, with friends like these.
Right? Kobold is going to throw down next. We're going to go for the dwarf. Now, even with the cover, the fighter is easier to hit. We're going to throw against the fighter. Ooh, 20 to hit you, fighter.
That'll do it.
Take 5.
Wow.
Then the berserker's going to start her turn in the zone.
Wisdom 16. 22 or 11.
She's going to pass. She'll take the 11. She'll throw down against you recklessly to try to crack the spell effect. She's going to get 13 to hit you.
That will not.
No such luck. That's all of my guys. Fear no equal.
Gonna attack the berserker.
Advantage goes reckless.
Gonna be a 21
21 hits.
for 17 damage. Second attack. Attack for 19.
19 hits.
for that big ol' 7 damage again.
You gonna hang out there? Or you gonna move around?
I'll just move up to the other side of the Berserker.
After that, we go to the Blind Oracle.
Let's go ahead and take the shot on the Berserker in the Spirit Guardians, popping out of stealth, so advantage. 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 28 points of damage.
28 points of damage. She's gonna drop.
Perfect. And then I am once again going to continue my campaign of sneaking northeast. And then we'll take the hide action. Ooh, thankfully we have advantage on that. 19.
19 will definitely do it. After the Blind Oracle is the Longfish.
I'm gonna dash towards the crate, right above the crate on the other side of the guardrail.
After that, we go to the AzureWolf.
Let's call dodge.
After that, we're going to go to Mage. We're going to throw a magic missile at the Cleric, try to dispel that effect. 2 points of damage from the first missile, 2 points of damage from the second missile, 2 points of damage from the third missile for 6 points of damage total. The magic missiles originated from this square down here. Give me 3 concentration saves.
First one is 14, second one is 10, third one is 11.
All right, yep, that's what you did. Then the Mage is going to move, so you hear footsteps from that area. The Kobold is going to slingshot you. Gets a 13 to hit you, and isn't going to survive a drop there, so it's just going to go cower behind these boxes. After that, we're going to go to Fear No Equal.
Alright, now I will move up. Go 6 spaces east and dodge. Longfish, I hope you're going to keep moving forward and get a little space from me for those fireballs.
After that, we're going to go to the Blind Oracle.
Well, this is a predicament. Ready action. If I see the mage, take a shot.
After that, we're going to go to the Longfish.
Move me towards the kobold and Sacred Flame.
About to be a very dead kobold.
Dex 16.
You hit the kobold.
It's 15 damage.
He's going to drop.
That's me.
After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
I think this is pretty much going to be the same game.
We're gonna play Mind Sweep.
Yep, it's pretty much what this is going to be, is you mind sweeping until you find it. I would like to move up towards the 2 rocks that the fighter and the cleric were staying towards. Dodge.
And then we're going to go to the Mage. Mage is going to throw another magic missile from right here. Try to hit the Cleric. She's going to get 3 on the first missile, 3 on the second missile, 3 on the third missile for a total of 9 points of damage. Cleric, give me 3 concentration saves.
12, 18, 13.
Yep, you did it. And she's going to move. You hear footsteps to the southeast of you. Then we're going to go back to Fear No Equal.
I will move up to the end of the gap and then dodge.
After that, we're going to go to the Blind Oracle.
Ready action. Shoot the mage if they show up.
Longfish.
Move me 5 squares to the south and then dodge.
AzureWolf.
Continue to move east a little bit, and let's ready the action to shoot if he pops out of invisibility with Firebolt.
Then it's going to be the Mage's turn. The Mage is going to start her turn off in the zone.
28 or 14.
Yep, that's going to crack her. So that's that encounter. Report hit points.
40 of 61 hit points.
31 of 67.
11 out of 60.
43 out of 86.
End of encounter actions. What actions do we want to take at the end of the encounter?
Channel Divinity.
So you can send out 40 hit points, and where are those going?
Take 19.
I know I can only take 2. It's not efficient. Let's see. Mass Healing Ward, 2d4 plus 11.
Is that what you're going to do?
That's probably actually valuable.
That's a good spell.
Casting it at level 4?
Never mind, I'll hold on to that then. Pop a Channel Divinity for now.
Use the scroll to conjure that water elemental.
Sure.
That way we'll have him for the next fight because he's up an hour.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to pop just a potion.
Same here because I still have 30 hit points missing. 8.
5 for me. I'm going to use a second. 7.
First one was 8. Second was 9.
Drinking both Healing Potion as well. 7 on the first one, 7 on the second one.
The iron mine has been located. The cause of the problems with iron delivery has been discovered. The elven Magus Kurtz has been turned to the side of the locals, and her cognitive function has been turned towards the goal of the green dragon in the area. The green dragon must be slain before iron production can be resumed. Hit points, abilities, spells, items in hand.
40 of 61 hit points. Short bow in hand.
48 out of 67 hit points, Warhammer and Shield. I have 1 level 1 spell and 1 level 4 spell, and 1 Channel Divinity remaining.
47 hit points. 2 second slots left. 1 fourth level slot. 2 charges on the wand left.
55 out of 86 hit points, carrying a Greatsword +1. I still have Action Surge available. I do not have Second Wind.
Monsters, abilities, items, and numbers. The monster is a young green dragon. The number is 1. The items are none. The abilities are multi-attack, they can bite and they can claw, and poison breath, which recharges on a 5 or a 6 for 12d6 poison damage and a 30-foot cone. They're immune to poison, as one might expect of a green dragon, that breathes poison. They actually have a fairly high passive perception, so you're going to have to start making rolls again. And really good saves. They can also breathe air and water. They have fly speed of 60, they have a swim speed of 40, and they have a ground speed of 40 if for whatever reason I wanted to use that. Blind sight of 30 feet, so if you want to hide and then use that for advantage, you're going to have to be outside of their 30-foot range. Dark vision for 120, but that's not going to matter. Terrain and effects. The water is a DC 10 athletics check to resist a strong current flowing to the west from the east, a DC 15 athletics check to swim towards the east at all, and there's a maximum of one of those per turn. If you fail the athletics check in the water, you will move towards the west by 3 squares. The cliffs are crumbly, and so while the handholds are available, they're not all valid handholds, and you're going to have trouble climbing them, so it'll be a DC 15 athletics check to climb the cliffs.
Can we fall from the top of the cliffs because they're crumbly?
Yeah, just like you can, if you fail any athletics check, you could fall, but...
Right, but they can't crumble under us.
No, there's lots of handholds, but they're crumbly. That's the terrain. Tactics. What are your tactics for fighting a dragon?
What's the DC on the breath weapon? Not the DC, the save type. Is it Constitution?
It is a Constitution save, yes.
Okay, cool. So dodges aren't going to benefit us in that one.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we got to find some way of coming to grips with that thing, at least those of us who are melee.
You definitely don't want to stand together. Fortunately, I think that's probably going to be it. Spread out and hope.
Yeah.
I can give somebody freedom of movement.
I don't think that helps us any, if I'm being really honest.
You can try banishment. I can try polymorph or banishment.
I don't think banishment does anything for us here. It's not staying gone, and we have nothing to achieve while it is gone.
It's going to come down to, I think, just hope we can drop it before it drops us.
Just throw as many damage spells at it.
Try to burst it down.
And my damage is going to be lower because hiding from this thing is going to be tough.
If I can get into melee contact, I can try and grapple it, which should keep it from moving, but I have to get into melee contact first, so.
All right, let's do this. Roll initiative. Anybody have higher than a 20? Anybody have between a 20 and a 15?
Do you need me to roll for the elemental? He's got a 17.
17.
16 for the fighter.
Anybody have between a 15 and a 10? 11 on the dragon? Anybody have between a 10 and a 5?
8 for the wizard.
Cleric on 8.
Air Elemental, you're up first.
Let's get him to move. Fly of 90 towards that big guy.
That's the action.
He just dodges it because that's what he does if he can attack.
Sounds good. After that, we're going to go to the Blind Oracle.
So I'd like to move diagonal to the southeast. I'm trying to get to behind the big rock, so I have dash action to get there and then take the hide action when I get there. 29.
That'll definitely do it. After that, we're going to go to the Fear No Equal.
Dash, pretty much straight to the east. I think I'll have to duck a little bit south. And then bonus action, use my ring of jumping.
After that, we're going to go to the Dragon. Dragon does not want to spend its turn mauling an air elemental. Dragon's going to fly to there. It's going to be 25 feet up in the air, and then it's going to breathe a cone of poison on the fighter. Fighter, please give me a DC 14 Constitution save.
I am going to fail. An 11.
All right, 12d6 poison. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 exactly. Take 50 points of poison damage. Whew. Which, by the way, ties your record for most amount of damage in a single action.
And is wildly above expected value.
That is also true, yeah. There's a lot of 4, 5s, and 6s in that bunch. There's a couple of 2s and 3s, not a single one.
I'm at 5 HP.
That's my action, that's my movement. After that, we're going to go to AzureWolf.
Let's move 25 to the southeast there to where that rock cropping is. But let's go Firebolt, because that's all I've got right now. 14?
14 misses the natural armor.
Okay.
You want 2 squares back?
Yeah, please.
After that, we're going to go to LongFish.
Move me diagonally south. I'm going to throw a Sacred Flame at Green Dragon. DC 16, Dex.
Fails.
11 damage. That's it for me.
And after that, we go to the Air Elemental.
Let's get right next to him. That way I can start attacking. 13's going to miss. That's a 22. 20.
Blind Oracle.
I'd like to move up 1, take the shot, and advantage for breaking stealth. Ooh, 13's not going to do it, is it?
13 is not going to do it.
Move back and try to hide. 26 to hide.
26 will do it.
That's the turn.
Fear No Equal.
Fellas, I need a tactical consult. I have 2 options as I see it. I am not going to be on the board beyond this turn, probably. So I'm going to use my action surge. I can jump and reach the dragon because of Ring of Jumping. Do I dash, jump, and grapple? Or do I throw 4 javelins and then roll over and die?
One of your options is invalid. You cannot throw 4 javelins in a turn because you can't draw that many javelins in a turn.
Oh, that's right. That silly rule.
one object interaction, which is drawing a weapon. So you could draw one in your first action, one in your second action. You could throw two if you wanted to.
I think the jump and grapple is the move.
Agreed.
25 feet is to the base of the model, I assume?
Yeah, and you would only have to go 20 to actually be within a 5-foot melee range.
Well, right, but then I have to go 25 feet vertically, which counts against my movement distance, so I have to dash.
Sorry, you have to go 20 feet vertically to get to the base of it, because you can attack on a diagonal.
So I still have to dash.
It's diagonal. You just take the max.
Yeah. So then I can just move, grapple, and then potentially action surge to grapple again if the first one fails.
You're going to move 1, 2, because you have to get a 10-foot run up, right?
Yep.
And then jump, and you can 5-foot reach. That's 25.
Yep.
So you're going to get to him. And what are you going to do once you get there?
Grapple, which, yes, I have to go look up the rules for.
Oh, I don't. I grapple all the time when I played in games.
I do not.
You're going to make an athletics check. I'm going to make an acrobatics or athletics at my option. And then if you roll better than I do, then I get 0 movement, which is going to get real interesting.
And I don't get advantage for doing something incredibly dumb.
No, you don't. But you're probably going to succeed because I got a 12.
My athletics is +8. That's a 27.
Yes!
I'm going to get 0 movement when I'm grappled. When I fly with 0 movement, I no longer fly. So I'm going to drop to the ground and take 10 points of bludgeoning damage on the way down.
Do I take bludgeoning damage when I hit the ground? Presumably I'm on the dragon in some fashion.
No, you're not. You're holding on to the dragon. You're grappling the dragon. You're not riding the dragon.
I'm attached to the dragon in some fashion.
You'd have to continue your movement and land. And it's a large creature. Yeah, you're still within range of it.
All I really need to clarify is, do I need to drink a potion before I hit the ground?
Yeah, you probably want to.
I need to drink a potion. So we are going to action surge to drink a potion while riding the crashing dragon.
Finish your attack so that you don't lose it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Again, grappling I'm not used to. So I do get to make that extra attack.
Problem, you are out one hand because you're grappling the dragon. So you need to make an attack that only requires one hand.
You punch the dragon for 1 damage?
All of my weapons are two-handed.
Not all of them. You have 10 javelins, so you can draw a javelin and stick it with it.
This is rapidly moving towards Sparta territory. We're going to melee with a javelin on the dragon that I jumped on.
And because it's an object interaction to draw it, you actually have to drop your great axe below you.
Love it. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I will just punch it. I don't want to drop my great axe because it's my magic weapon, and I'm concerned about damage reduction if I drop it. Assuming I survive.
The creature lands prone, you have advantage on the attack.
Cool. So I'm just attacking for what, 1d2 plus 5?
1 plus strength, so 5.
1 plus 5. Okay, cool. Watch me crit this. Watch me crit this. I crit this. I don't think it matters.
It does not. There are no dice to multiply.
So 6 damage for punching it in the face while not letting go of my axe. And then I'm going to action surge to use this potion for 2d4 plus 2 HP. That's going to give me a big ol' 6 HP, puts me at 11.
Cool. And then you're going to drop 15 feet and take 2 points of damage on the way down.
Puts me at 9.
That was a turn. You good?
Good is a stretch, but let's go.
A dragon is going to try to recharge its breath weapon. A dragon is going to succeed at recharging its breath weapon. A dragon is going to breathe on you. Good news for everybody else, they are outside of 30 feet of range, so they're not going to take anything. Go ahead and make a DC 14 Constitution save. 10, 20, 30, take 34, 17.
I rolled 20, so that's a 23 on my save. I will take 17. I am unconscious. My fighter gasps worth in the dragon's face.
You succeeded on bringing it down.
Yeah, but unfortunately the dragon is now no longer grappled and can just fly straight back up.
I did, however, tank out 2 of its breath weapons so that nobody else had to take that.
Indeed.
We're going to fly 25 feet up. This guy does not have a reach. I'm still within his threat range. He's just going to catch up with me. I need to stay away from the fighter. I don't need to stay away from anybody else. He's going to fly over here and go 25 feet up. AzureWolf?
Let's move towards the east, towards the fighter. He's in the air, so I have a clear shot at him. Firebolt. That's a 15.
15's a miss.
That's what I figured. Okay.
After that, we go to LongFish.
Healing word on the fighter. Fighter gets 12 hit points.
Yo, we are back.
I'll throw a Sacred Flame at the dragon again.
Okay, you'll need to move, but that's fine. Dragon's going to get 16, which I think will pass.
On the nose, yeah.
And then you move back?
Yep.
After that, we're going to go to the air elemental.
Is it worth trying to knock him prone? Yeah, let's try the whirlwind.
Wait a sec. Whirlwind's a random direction. It could throw it farther away from us.
Yeah, that's true.
We can't really decide where he's going to go, and the more distance he gets, the worse we get.
Let's just do the swing then. 16?
16 will miss.
13's also going to miss.
You good there, or you want to move?
Oh yeah, I want to stay in his threat range.
You got it. You're in its threat range. After that, we go to BlindOracle.
Pop out, take the shot at the dragon. See if we can do better than a 13 this time. 15 this time.
It's not going to make it. Bounces off a scale.
Bounce back and try and hide again.
You gotta use the special black arrow.
Right? 27 to hide.
27 will do it. Well, you're getting some of these numbers.
Not the ones that matter.
Fear no equal.
We are gonna stand up and draw a javelin and throw a javelin. We are not going to jump this dude again.
Was pretty epic.
If I were closer to him, I would have done it again.
Fair.
I don't think that I want to try that over the water. Here we go. That's gonna roll a 19 to hit
19 will connect.
for 9 damage piercing, non-magical. And then we're gonna bonus action Ring of Jumping.
Does it not stay on?
I honestly wasn't sure, but I don't have use for my bonus action anyway, so it doesn't matter if it did or did not.
After that, we're going to go to Dragon. Dragon's going to recharge. Well, attempt to. Dragon is going to fail to recharge.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, we can still maul you, which I think... No, there's a wizard in the open. We're going to drop on him. We're going to take an attack of opportunity, leaving the air elemental's threatened area.
That is a 19.
That'll hit.
That is an 11.
He's going to drop down to the ground. BlindOracle, you are no longer hidden from him.
Yep.
We're going to throw the bite against the wizard. 21 to hit your wizard.
Yeah, it'll connect. Ooh, we might be losing an elemental here, boys.
Yep.
13 points of piercing plus 4 points of poison for a total of 17 damage. And give me a concentration save.
13.
13 will pass. Second attack is a claw. 12 to hit you.
Negative.
Third attack with a claw. 23 to hit you.
Yep.
Take 12 points of slashing damage.
Oh, that was so close.
And another concentration save.
That is an 11.
Pass as well. And from there, I don't want to take the attacks of opportunities. Yeah, because that's going to do a whole mess of damage. All right, cool. After that, we're going to go to the AzureWolf.
Hey, you did my job for me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pull out a scroll, cast Blight.
Oh, no.
Con DC 16.
8.
Oh boy. That is 44 necrotic damage.
After that, anything else? You good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
LongFish.
Throw a Sacred Flame at it. Dex 16
10. Fails.
for 6 damage. And bonus action, cast Mass Healing Ward. Everybody get 16 hit points.
I'm within range on that.
I think he has to move to see him, but that's easily done.
And then move back.
After that, we go to the air elemental.
Get in his range. And going to hit him again. First slam is a 23.
23 hits.
14. That is a 12.
12 is a miss.
And that's it.
BlindOracle.
So I am definitely within melee of this guy at this point.
Very much so.
Dodge is not one of the bonus actions I get, unfortunately, and using a magic item still counts as an action,
Yes,
which is weird, but is what it is.
it is.
Disengage. Let's go ahead and move behind the cleric, and then bonus action to hide.
You probably don't want to do that. You're within his blind sight range, so you can't really hide from him there.
That's right, I'm toast at this point.
You can take a shot, hope for the hit.
Sure, a standard shot. Let's see how this goes. An 11 is not going to hit.
It is not. You have one more square. You want it to stay there, or you want to move?
I'll take the one more square. It's not going to matter.
Probably not. It's a dragon. After that, we go to the Fear No Equal.
I want to kill this thing. Going in for melee attacks with my great axe. Attack number 1. That's not going to hit. That's a 13. Attack number 2. That's a 25.
That'll hit,
13 damage.
which is lethal.
I freaking deserved that.
Yes, you do.
Very well played.
I was so worried that you were going to get that hit and take that kill from me.
You threw so many dice at it, too. That was so hard to watch. With the dragon slain, the forces return to normal, and the mind-affecting phenomenon have abated. The loot for the level 8 dungeon is 5,600 gold pieces, which comes out to 1,400 gold pieces each. The magic items recovered are a Pearl of Power, a Headband of Intellect, a Potion of Frost Giant Strength, and a Potion of Superior Healing.
Obviously, the guy who tried to grapple a dragon needs a headband of intellect.
The next dungeon is Encounters from the Underdark. You're going to travel on an Underdark excursion and see a couple of different monsters along the way. How you're going to do that with only one long rest at the end of it is, well, quite frankly, unlikely, but here we are in D20 Tactics when I think, as BlindOracle can attest, only the unlikely happens. By tradition, what was the easiest encounter?
I think the easiest that had the most potential of being the deadliest was that dragon, honestly. The others used up a lot of materials.
You thought the dragon was the easiest?
Honestly, looking at resource-wise, yeah, because I used up a ton of resources on the other fights, to the point where I was like, ooh, I actually need to manage these a little bit more, a lot more thought going into them, because those cavalries were rough.
I was out of 3rd level spells by the end of that orc fight.
I think the dragon potentially could be the deadliest, but honestly, it's a big spanking tank.
Well, no. I'm gonna argue that Saracen played that encounter wrong. We never should have won that encounter because the dragon never should have touched down. The dragon should have literally stayed at max height until its breath weapon recharged, drive-byed somebody, and then went back up.
Slight counter-argument. I don't disagree with you. I think there was no way we win this without some way of getting in the air. But the air elemental means that specifically it should have been doing drive-bys on the wizard until he lost control of it.
Correct.
Or was unconscious.
Correct.
Nobody else should have been a target except to get that air elemental out of control. And if that were the case, if the wizard's off the board and the air elemental's out of control, there is no way we win this encounter.
Well, I have fly also, so I can get one more of you up in the air.
But not with the air elemental.
Correct.
I didn't know I was going to be fighting an air elemental when I went into it, but I thought about this. On the one hand, I can stay 30 feet off the ground and then just breathe fire directly down, hit a 15-foot radius, and just blast you guys. However, I only recharge on a 5 and a 6. The expected value for that is I can recharge once every 3 turns. If you guys stay 30 feet away from each other and just shoot upward repeatedly, you're going to get 3 turns of shooting for every time I throw one breath weapon back down at you. BlindOracle, you should be hitting, I mean, obviously you just got bad dice rolls this time, with advantage, because again, you can move wherever you want, right? I can't really avoid it, so you're going to be hitting probably every other round, right? You're plus, 9?
Yes, but I don't have advantage because remember, you can get high enough up that you can see me.
You have overhead cover, duck under a bush. You can angle it so you can be hiding behind a thing.
Sure.
Oh, you're saying like I go up, I can go up to 110 feet?
Yes, exactly. And just spot the rogue and then dive bomb.
You're right. So you're not throwing with advantage, which means you're not throwing with sneak attack dice. Okay.
So my expected value per turn on that is 9 damage. There is 0 reason we should have won that fight.
That turns off the rogue. Then there's the cleric. What's the cleric's range on his attacks?
60 feet until I run out of guiding bolt.
So I could turn off the cleric and then 90 feet on the wizard. So I should just be flying 110, and the fighter's gotten turned off already.
And you can stay out of range whenever you don't have that breath weapon. The fact is, anytime you come down, you have that breath weapon. Otherwise, you just stay out of reach.
So I should be up at 110 and then waiting for that. And then at that point, I'm fighting an air elemental.
And that definitely complicates things a lot. If we had had anything but an air elemental, it's just as useless as we are on the ground.
The plan without the elemental was either to put fly on one of the melee guys and let them basically get in its face, or if it does drop to the 60 range, put polymorph on it and make it fall to the ground.
Yeah, polymorph is a possibility. It feels like a pretty maybe. That's absolutely like an option. It would be the cleric up in the air because he's got a lot more hit points than me after I took that initial hit.
He can also heal himself back up, so as long as he's alive, he can pop an action to just heal himself again. Because of the way I played it, this turned into the easiest, because I was like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I dropped the fighter once. I almost dropped. How low did I get you, wizard?
I got 26 wounds out of 60.
Did some damage to the wizard, could have been better, but that fight could have been the one that was just a cakewalk for me. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to say that for the next dragon fight.
This is the level at which dragons are utterly terrifying, because most parties don't have the resources to really combat a dragon, and if the DM wants to, they just win the fight.
Yeah, I came in looking at this as, if we can't ground that dragon somehow, which is the only reason grapple is even on the table, this is an auto-fail, because the range issue is still such a significant issue for us, especially with limited resources at the end of the adventuring day.
I went into this assuming that I did not want to try to outrange you, that it would be best for me to obviously breathe. And if you take anything away from this, that's what should be taken away, is like breathe at every opportunity. I did not think about the fact that I can actually outrange you with my threat range of 80-foot move and 30-foot breath, turning off the rogue, turning off the cleric, turning off the wizard, obviously turning off the fighter, right? But even that, you're going to be throwing at disadvantage, I suppose, with javelins. So you can outrange even a party that you guys aren't terrible at range attacks.
That's why I was saying this one had the potential to be the deadliest, but it felt the easier, in my opinion.
This one felt more difficult for me of the two that we engaged in. It could have been a TPK very easily, and the other one could not have been a TPK so easily.
What was the hardest encounter?
When we first came across that cavalry, because that cavalry was rough.
This was a nasty fight.
Fear no equal, I finally learned the button hook. The mount moves in, readies an action to move after the rider has shot. The rider shoots, the mount moves back. I finally figured it out and perfected it and used it in this fight. What I felt was effectively, maybe it wasn't very effective, but we had that come up in this fight.
It was very effective.
Especially when they've got plate on and the mount is actually the viable target.
Did we use AoE spells on them?
We used AoE in almost every encounter.
I think this one ate 2 fireballs.
Yeah, the primary vulnerability of Saracen's cavalry approach is that it puts 2 bodies subject to saving throws on AoE attacks. It's also the solution to cavalry when you can't close with them is, you got to hit them with something that'll get a couple.
If I remember right in this one, they kept staying just enough out of range where I was either only getting 2 or I was getting 1. I wasn't really able to double up on them. A fireball felt wasted in this whole thing. He had a couple to the south and then a couple to the north, and he kept them separated purposely.
Cavalry archers are definitely a problem to solve.
Keep the spacing every other. So it's like, yeah, you can crack 2 of them. And that's going to do a whole bunch of damage.
Fireball really doesn't feel like a waste when you've got around 4 or more targets.
That's why hitting 2 cavalry is still 4 targets.
The direwolves and the orog, each one of them can survive. Even if they fail, they can survive a single fireball. And if they pass, they can survive 2.
I feel like the Etten encounter deserves special mention, not because it was hard, but if I recall correctly, we went through a bunch of resources on this fight.
We did. I even said on this, I feel like I've used a lot of resources on this fight.
If I recall correctly, it was 2 level 3s, 1 from each caster, and a bunch of 2s? It was a lot.
Yeah, I dropped a Spirit Guardian, and I think we threw 1 fireball just because it was such a large cluster of dudes.
This set of encounters is the one where I think I've used up my shields faster than anything, and I was actually debating using level 2 slots for shields.
So kobolds, CR 1/8, 5 hit points, really nothing. They have a 120-foot range, so 24 squares, and they have disadvantage in sunlight, they have disadvantage for range, they have disadvantage when you guys dodge. They're actually at a point where they've stacked so much disadvantage, they don't care anymore. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go prone. We're like, we don't care. We're going to lob 4 of them at you. We have +4 to hit, so we need an 11 on 2 dice. It's not going to happen with 1 of us, but there's 4 of us. Right there, that's a CR 1/2 squad. For them to throw down at you with their sling stones, I'm like, I need these guys everywhere just to be throwing disadvantage attacks at the vulnerable people. Like, oh, you're in cover? Great. We're going to be throwing. You got disadvantage? Great, we're going to be throwing. We don't care. We're just slinging stones downrange so that we're getting those shields that come out. And once the shield pops, it's like, well, that's a concentration save that a mage doesn't have to make. That's a shield that an orog doesn't have to take.
I think that's a great and valid tactic. I will point out that kobolds are underpointed in 5th ed pretty aggressively.
You think their CR is too low?
I think those are actually closer to CR half, if I'm being really honest.
Really? Instead of 1/4?
Yeah, especially if they don't have disadvantage.
Pack tactics is awesome.
Pack tactics is disgusting.
And then you throw in the back tactics. It's like, well, there's 1 enemy downrange. Great, all my guys have advantage.
Or you get 1 enemy downrange and suddenly you cancel out all of your disadvantage.
And I felt like I used them effectively for that.
Tactically, the counterpoint there is they don't do that much damage, and your health is a resource too. Especially when we have a life cleric in the party. You don't want to be above 50% HP when we get to the end of that second encounter. You want to be below, especially with the mage. As long as you're not running anything concentration that you're going to potentially lose, let him hit you with sticks. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but they're not really your bones, so.
There's the rub that unless you're concentrating on something. So these guys are good at breaking concentration abilities.
Towards the last 2 fights that we did tonight, that's what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'll just let it slide because it's a sling.
In the kobold encounter that I saw, the difference there, of course, was you could hit a whole bunch of them at the same time because they're forced to be in that enclosed space. So lighting them up with that fireball makes sense. But in that first one, where they've got a lot of room to maneuver, don't waste a fireball on them.
Yeah, because that was our original plan, was drop those kobolds just to clear the board, to get the numbers off the board in that fight. But it came down that those Etten caps became more priority.
That's definitely going to be the case in that earlier fight. When it's just 4 kobolds but 6 Ettercaps, those 6 Ettercaps are much more of a priority. Plus, you can get in close with them pretty easily.
Tactics for the first one were move north, Spirit Guardians. The fighter ran out to go fight things. How do you guys feel those tactics worked out?
The fighter going out to fight things was a mistake tactically. To borrow an expression from chess, we hung a piece and we paid for it.
With the amount of healing that you can do from a life cleric, does it cause the opponent to overcommit? 2 things would have to happen. 1, the initiative order would have to be such that the fighter goes after the cleric. Cleric, I burst them down, fighter, and then the fighter actually loses a turn. Because then it comes back to the cleric, and the cleric's like, cool, I heal him. The fighter can just run around and force people to make mistakes. Runs up to an Ettercap and says, well, you can either try to fight me or you can spit web. You want to be spitting web because that's kind of what I brought you here for, but you can't because you got disadvantage because I'm in melee range. It causes the dilemmas for the bad guys. And the fighter is kind of in this impervious spot where he's just like, great, do damage to me, man. I don't care. My buddy's just going to pick me back up. You feel like you're still hanging a piece when you just have a guy who's just like, great, here's 16 hit points. Go get him, champ. And you're just back in the fight again.
Yes. You've only got to win 1 fight. You get to put the quarter in the slot 6 times. We really have to get through all 6 to quote-unquote succeed, right? Our burden of success is 6 encounters. Your burden of success is one encounter. And you can even take a partial win. A partial win for us is still kind of a loss, depending on how much we have to expend to undo that. So, yeah, sure, the cleric's going to pick the fighter back up. And to Fear No Equal's point, HP is a resource, but it can become a liability if we are expending too much healing versus solving encounters. Because if for whatever reason the cleric runs out of level 1 healing spells to pick people up in combat, or runs out of channel divinities because we've hung the fighter twice in a row, that's a huge win for you and a fat L for us.
And that's the kind of buffer that I see on it, is with the Preserve Life, you can actually do 2 in a row. That's 80 hit points. Fighter's got 76 to start with, 86 after aid, so I gotta drop you down to 43. Then I chew through another 40. You heal him back up for 40. Then I chew through another 40. You heal him back up for 40. Now we're actually cooking with gas, right? Now we're actually playing for real money. Any damage I do after that, this is going to carry on to the next rest. And if I manage to do that back to back in encounter, you're absolutely right. That's going to start chewing through them. But if I split that up between encounter 1 and encounter 3, well, the clock got reset. The Life Cleric is just so powerful to be able to bring people back up that, like, it's almost like the fighter's like, we're not here to make optimal plays. He's just like, I'm going to run out here and cause dilemmas for people. I'm going to cause problems. I'm not here to make optimal damage. I'm not here to make optimal plays.
Sometimes being chaos is worth it on the field.
Didn't you knock the fighter down in one of the fights and I had to pick him up when he was just getting pin cushioned?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You pick him up with a Preserve Life and he's back at it, you know?
As the usual fighter player, I will note that when you said the fighter ran out to fight things, and my first thought was, well, that's not his job. The fighter's health is a resource, absolutely, but health doesn't do anything. In this fight, it's an 11 target fight against 4 people. The fighter's job is only to spend health to lure things into AoE. When you've got 11 targets, the tactic you want to approach with is how do we leverage variable damage spells, or AoE spells, to their maximum value, and that is draw things in. In the case of the wizard, his HP is a resource that he spends instead of shield slots. In the case of the fighter, his HP is a resource that he spends to maneuver the enemy towards him. So he shouldn't be out there fighting things individually. If you're fighting things individually, you will lose this fight. So he should be trying to protect his squishies so that they can AoE things efficient. And if he's out there brawling with an Ettercap and taking chunks of damage, even if he chunks the Ettercap, he's the least efficient damage dealer on the board. His health is his resource to control enemy movements, and that's what he should be doing. If he's out there getting shot at, he's not controlling anybody's movement.
The only thing I would disagree with what you said is health doesn't accomplish anything, and that's the wrong way of looking at it, right?
I mean that in a literal sense.
You're right that there's no direct mechanical thing of like, well, if you have more health, you do more damage. Like, that's obviously not the case, but health buys reactions, it buys opportunity attacks, it buys disadvantage to ranged attackers. Just existing and being healthy and being able to attack things has an effect. And if you don't have health, then you don't have those effects.
The number of health you have is less the question than the presence that you have on the board.
Health buys presence, right? Because if you have 0 hit points, you're not causing opportunity attacks, you're not threatening people, you're not causing disadvantage. For kobolds, you're not doing pack tactics.
I just mean in a literal sense that, like, HP can't be spent for something, it can simply pay for others.
I think that's a semantic debate.
It's an active thing, right? You can't say, I spend 10 HP to draw something's attention. You have to hope that something is attending to you and that you can spend the HP.
I agree that there's no mechanical link there, but I believe there's an indirect link.
My point was simply that it is an indirect link, as opposed to spell slots, which are a direct thing.
The tactics here were target the mounts first, choke point on the bridge, or take a side road. I think that you went to the south. How did bunkering up in the south go for you?
Badly.
Any thoughts about why?
We couldn't control the cavalry. The thing that kept happening is we kept getting shot. Your archers finally hurt. That made it tricky.
Slow is what helped us once it came up because it took that multi-attack away.
Honestly, when I looked at the two of them, I definitely follow BlindOracle's wisdom on this, which is death is the best status effect. So you're like, oh, I could throw slow against people. I'm like, or you could throw a fireball. But, don't let me sway your hand on this.
I liked slow because it dropped the AC by 2, lowered the movement of that cavalry, and it also helped with the multi-attack. Because those archers were rough in this fight, like you said. These things hurt.
Yeah, throw in the javelins, the duckiness of the goblins. Run out, shoot, and hide.
We tried to make our way south, and that's where I actually put up the slow. It took away the reaction, which was allowed me to get away, which allowed me to get into a better position. I don't have to worry about my concentration dropping.
My compliments to you on mastering the button hook in that fight.
Finally did it. It only took 44 encounters. This is the 44th encounter. Finally did it with cavalry.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
What do you mean, enjoy it while it lasts? What's going to happen?
There are plans. We will leave it at that.
Third one was sprint and prone. Spirit Guardians target the Malicins and then focus damage. Focus damage, always a good tactic. What did you guys feel about the hiding snakes? Fair, unfair, good tactics, bad tactics?
Did it do anything?
I have 100% done that to players.
They kind of felt like an afterthought almost. Like, oh, they're there somewhere, who cares? They weren't like the main, oh god, I gotta be worried where they are.
You guys really kind of slowed down.
Yeah, you spiked that one at us at the top there. Okay, cool, we got rid of them, and then from there, it was like, let's just move forward slowly because we were staying in the Spirit Guardian range, just in case one of them popped out. Honestly, it just kind of felt like as long as we stayed in the circle of death, it was alright.
The Malicins, their tactic is to shoot you with bows until you get within 30 and then suggest that you go do something really awful. You guys pincushion one of them to the point where he's like, well, I can't even peek out anymore. Staying in the Spirit Guardians and using that as your bunker when you don't have another one available. Over here, tactics you discussed were choke point in the mountain pass, conserve resources, and shoot down from the slopes.
I like this one. I like the fact that the rogue was kind of off to the bottom there and he was playing the hide and go shoot tactic that he normally does, but he was by himself, and it felt like this one felt good to play. It's kind of hard to describe.
Makes sense.
We're all standing at the top fighting for our survival. The rogue is playing Rambo at the corner.
Yeah, it was like a King of the Hill moment almost.
What's that clip from Saving Private Ryan where the guy's up in the watchtower saying prayers and just shooting people?
That's accurate.
When the one snake got up on the ledge, I basically just threw him off.
It sounds like execution went off well, which was absolutely not the case with, like, the dragon, or it sounds like with the cavalry. Execution didn't go off well, but with this one, it sounds like the tactics that you guys planned sort of went the way they were supposed to.
Huge snakes moving around in a forest. They're actually incredibly susceptible to difficult terrain. It's very difficult for me to move a 15 by 15 foot creature around a forest, and they don't have the greatest movement. That makes it very difficult to move around in these areas. With only melee attacks, that makes it very difficult.
Given that they're snakes, that feels like something that should be solved on the stat block.
How do we feel about this one? Avoid grouping up. That didn't work well. Kill the caster first, and then somebody mentioned kill the kobolds first. Spirit Guardians, of course, because that always comes up in every conversation after level 5. And banishment was also brought up. What tactics do you guys think you eventually used in this fight? Because you talked about a whole bunch of them, but what did you actually try to execute on?
Fireball.
Stop being an idiot and realize that, oh yeah, I can send a fireball downrange and eliminate most of this.
And we didn't really have the opportunity to not bunch up. That first fireball came out before I think at least half of us had even moved, including the owl. We did try and space out, and it was effective once we had the opportunity. The second fireball we maybe could have done something about, but we didn't have a ton of options there either.
Yeah, we still have to stop the berserkers from getting through, so at least 2 out of 4 of us has to be like anchored up by the bridge.
With the fireball, you're always going to get 2 people. You'd have to have a very, very large map for everybody to be 45 feet away from each other. For all of you to be 45 feet away from each other, it's just not going to happen. Or at that point, you're sacrificing so much range that the people in the back aren't going to be able to do anything, so it doesn't really matter if you're there or not. I'm going to hit at least 2 of you, but I was kind of surprised 2 of you didn't move, right? Because your initiatives came slower. But the other 2 of you, if one of you breaks left and the other one breaks right, I shouldn't be able to get both of you, but for the first round of attacks, I was able to get both. I hit everybody. Was the decision to say, hey, we're going to have to take 1 turn of this because we can't beat the initiative roll? Why was I able to hit everybody when you had the opportunity for at least 1 person to get away, but nobody did?
2 things contributed to this. The initiative order got split kind of funny. The other problem is that I am slow. So unless I'm breaking straight north, and it's possible that I looked at the terrain layer and derp. So I could have broken directly north and hid in the tree line up there. That was probably an option, but we also played this wrong and I made a mistake. I should have taken way less damage. Evasion halves the damage automatic.
Obviously the owl was never going to make it. The kobolds were going to get it or whatever. And then the second round where the wizard is still in this area. All right, we're going to do this again.
I derped on this a little bit because I should have thrown something downrange at that point, and I miscounted my move. I realized it after the turn.
You guys mentioned kill the casters first, kill the kobolds first. Which was the right choice in hindsight?
Killing the caster first was never really an option. He's just far too tanky and he has too many options, too much survivability. So killing the kobolds, once we got around to it, was a work of a moment. I don't think we took too much damage from the kobolds. Taking them out of the play immediately was probably the move, because once it happened, they were gone.
Yeah, I took some damage on this one. from those kobolds.
I screwed up the pack tactics. I failed to get advantage. Although I suppose it wouldn't have gotten advantage on you. Ideally, you'd want to be able to take the caster, but you don't think it was practical to throw out the caster first?
No, I think getting the action economy off the board would have been the better move.
The only solutions that we, I think, had to the caster were things like polymorph or banishment. And banishment was a potential option, but it's a save or suck. Taking the kobolds down was the right move.
It's also 60-foot range, so you'd have to move somebody up the board.
That was my problem with Counterspell. Like, it was a 60-foot range. Getting that close was not going to happen.
Not while the kobolds are alive.
It was the berserkers that were in the way.
Because they could also push you off. I wanted to do that so badly. So you have 3 melee opponents in the berserkers. You have 1 spellcaster in the mage, and then you have 6 ranged attackers. From that math, was the Spirit Guardians worth it?
From the effect on the table, I'd say absolutely it was the right call.
Because he ended up dropping 2 of them.
Solid damage to the berserkers that allowed us to push forward. And then, obviously, it was clutch in locating the wizard when he went invisible.
Minesweep the wizard. It slowed them down so they couldn't get to the squishies. Even if they could run past me and eat OPs. It did 60 some amount of damage to them. I don't have any good ranged options, and most of my level 3 spells are either healing or drop that. And I don't think casting a spiritual weapon would be more efficient than just have the Guardian like a damage field.
Maybe cast it the first round instead of the second, because the creatures were moving into your threat.
Yeah, my round 1 was dodge. I moved up there to cast dodge.
They moved up, they dashed up to you. But I think that's actually the right move, because if they know where it is, they can avoid it.
Well, he would have been able to hit the rogue too, but I mean, the rogue did kind of just go play off in the north and avoid it. But that has been my only maybe thought.
That, and if I cast Spirit Guardian without dodging on turn 1, I'm going to get pincushioned by 6 kobolds, and probably the wizard is going to throw magic missiles in.
Also in favor of that one, it's possible those berserkers don't come into melee contact if he casts it before they arrive. Maybe they dash but hesitate outside range so that they don't take the immediate damage and can cluster him. By popping it once they are in range of it, he immediately gets damage down on them.
BlindOracle, what was the chances that I was going to get acrobatics checks from you walking along the planks?
Thought about it, and the check is decent. Dice plus 11, halfling luck, so, the odds that I failed it are low. It was never going to put me in a position, because I can't hide when I'm out on the planks. I basically quarter my damage to reposition behind the barrels. I did the math on it, and the farthest most north bush put me in range of everyone else.
I really liked you stalking your way up there, shooting and moving and shooting and moving. You get into a position, you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm in range of everything. So how do we feel about fighting an invisible wizard?
I think we had the right tactic with the minesweeping.
We do not have the tools for that. He could very well have picked somewhere else to go. We could have been there for a while.
I've done this quite a bit. It usually comes down to spend some resources, or everybody kind of do the link arms and walk in a straight line until you bump into the dang thing.
There were a bunch of dispel invisibility spells, and we didn't have any of them.
We wouldn't have been able to hit them. That was the problem. We weren't close enough.
They had 8 hit points left when they cast invisibility. So you only had to pick them off one more time. So ready action to shoot at the source of a magic effect would have done it. So I tried to maneuver my way away from you, but you just guessed the correct spot.
There's not that much space you can run back there unless you run on one of the ledges.
With 8 hit points, I can't afford to, right? Because if I fail that, I'm like, well, bye, guys.
I don't think you cannot afford to. Every option you take is do or die. I would have gone onto the lower of the 2 paths and tried to jump it.
That's the direction I was moving. So I moved back here because I was like, well, that's the obvious move, so let me do the not obvious move. And then through the magic missiles, I suppose once I put myself in the corner, it's like, well, you're obviously not moving that way, so let's count 6 squares from this corner. And I was like, all right, well, let me hop through difficult terrain because that will be slower, but less predictable. Yeah, so that's kind of the tech that is used to hunt invisible wizards. Readied actions, the area of effect that starts at the beginning of their turn and just trying to get yourself into it. And I tried to crack it. I tried so hard to crack that. Would I throw 6 missiles at you? Should I have been upcasting them? Maybe.
If you had the slots, yeah.
I got slots for days. I got 5th level slots that I didn't use. I was trying to line up a Kona Cold with 2 of you. And I could have done it that turn if I wasn't dead. You guys were so spread out. So, and then the final fight.
You want drama? This is drama.
Spread out. That actually worked really well because you only have to get 30 feet away from each other, so that worked well. Don't bother dodging. Good to know ahead of time. Polymorph or banishment. Try to get within range. Polymorph it into something easy to hit. If you hit it down to 0 hit points, the thing is it gets new hit points. It just buys you a turn, which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's more of the polymorph is to bring it down from the sky to make it hit the ground.
Polymorph it into something without a fly speed, and then we can surround it, potentially grapple it, and then re-engage.
People dismissed banishment. Banishment, essentially 10 turns to do whatever you want.
But what do we get with 10 turns of prep is my question. I'm honestly not sure.
You get a rogue that is in position to fire a shot as a reaction. You get a fighter in a position to do a melee attack. You get a fighter at exactly half health, because then you can spend one of those to heal the fighter back up. You get things that you don't want to do in other rounds, but you kind of want to be done.
Yeah, and I could have gotten to the 30-foot range that I needed for Blight.
I would note with Banishment, it's less about what do we get from Banishment and more about what the opportunity cost is. What are we losing using Banishment that we could be getting either Polymorph or actual damage out? 4th level spell slot's nothing to sneer at if it works. So I think Banishment was simply the least helpful option, certainly compared to Polymorph. I think Polymorph would have been the better move, because it's basically Banishment plus we can grapple it.
That's true. You get the grapple turn out of it.
This fight made me realize this wizard needs some sort of a single target that can be upcasted or something like that, because all my stuff is mostly AoE for the higher levels. I was actually debating, like, do I cast a fireball on it because it's going to do the most damage, or do I do an upcast shatter or magic missile? Probably prepping Scorching Ray because it's in the book. It's probably the smarter move for future stuff.
This is the first dragon fight in a game called Dungeons and Dragons. How did it feel going into this fight?
I assume this would be a TPK. If you play this right, this is borderline unwinnable for us. For this particular party makeup, this is a real tough fight.
Especially in this open area.
My tactical note on this one was we were throwing down Firebolt and Sacred Flame when we had spell slots left. This is not a fight for cantrips. We needed to be dropping all of the guns we had as fast as we could. Obviously, the Air Elemental was a huge part of that. If we have spell slots and we're throwing cantrips, we're doing it wrong.
Everything I've got's an AoE, or it's a magic missile.
And that's the time where you eat the inefficiency and throw it on the fireball.
My other option for this fight was to, like I said, either give you fly or put enlarge on you to be able to stand up a little bit taller.
The Air Elemental was certainly the best use of your concentration. Much better than enlarge or fly would have been.
You didn't use the whirlwind attack for the prone effect. I realized the random distance is going to be problematic. Even so, that's just a reset of time.
Not exactly. If it goes the wrong direction, the fighter is no longer doing damage. If we get really unlucky, I'm no longer hidden. So that, again, quarters the damage that I put out.
Right, you're right. If the fighter's here and I get knocked here, that's the worst option, because now you're not hidden and he's far away. I was thinking something more like back here, because that's just a reset. Literally any other direction. Here is good, but you're right. That's the worst option.
Coming into this, my assumption was we have to do absolutely anything we can to get and keep this guy in range, and throwing him in a random direction is the opposite of what we want.
Yeah. The rogue needs some more help rigging his dice. When you get to the place where there are things like feats, when you get to a thing where you can force rerolls.
You're talking about clean rigging. You're not just talking about straight up cheating.
I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about iterative probability proofing within the rules. The rogue character needs that, because you've got one job and you have no other tools to help you do it.
Yeah, you have a couple other tools that just aren't available to this character. The archer's +2 to hit, the lucky feat to reroll. You got the one from Halfling.
Sharpshooter's really good. Even if you don't use it for the damage, stripping cover from people is incredible. You no longer have disadvantage out to long range. Also, to talk about the reset, so let's say we knock it in the wrong direction prone, and we lose a turn, that's another turn you get to roll to recharge.
It gets to reset also.
It resetting is worse for us than you.
It very much depends on how much I got in the trades.
Sure.
You have Guiding Bolt, I think.
That eats like regular spell slots. I have 2 level slots. One level 1 and one level 4.
But Guiding Bolt does 120 foot range, so even if I was 110 up, that's still an attack.
Guiding Bolt is just a way for the rogue to feel even worse when he misses again.
I had advantage on every attack tonight, too.
You threw 5 dice at the problem. 2 advantages and 1 unadvantaged.
Correct.
Maps felt fair. Maps felt good. Maps were problematic.
I think maps were fine.
Maps were okay. This last one was a little dicey.
This last one would have been more of a problem if you were fighting this from the air, because we weren't able to maneuver much on it. So if this had been a all dirt map and you were fighting it more to your advantages, it might have been a little better for us. As it was, it wouldn't have mattered that we had a very narrow area to fight on.
Encounter selections and monster selections seem reasonable. 1 fits a theme. 2, reasonable selection of monsters.
They felt challenging. I actually felt challenged in this set of encounters. Oh, gotta think, gotta be smart about the resource consumption a little bit more than the last couple of encounters.
This definitely felt like the sweet spot.
It did. Okay. You guys have commented where this is the part where it falls off. This is the part where the players are going to start to outstrip the monsters. When we got into the cav fight, I was like, I've TPK'd people with dire wolves. they do work. Those guys just throw down.
Most of the fights I do at this range, even following like the book modules, aren't this well thought out creature-wise.
Thanks. I did want to make them thematic because a lot of encounter builders that you find are just like, you're fighting 2 kobolds, 3 drow, and 2 durgar. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, this doesn't make it. They're like, no, they're all level appropriate. I'm like, I get that, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are the drow and the durgar in the same room with each other?
I think that's why, because you're putting a little bit more thought, they fit a little bit better, and it feels like we're not getting that power creep like we would. I mean, it's still there a little bit, but it's not like as noticeable when you're fighting just 2 drow with 3 goblins.
I want to try to get more balance of infantry, cavalry, artillery in the encounters. Now being able to take mages as CR6, I'm going to be able to like throw a mage into every fight. That's what I'm looking forward to at higher levels.
If I warding bond with someone, should I warding bond the wizard or should I warding bond the fighter? Because both of them eat a lot of damage.
Warding bond the fighter.
The fighter should be eating more damage than the wizard.
Unless the wizard is going prone, that he's gonna try to go after the wizard every turn. I think his target priority is still wizard over fighter, over clerk, over the rogue, if you can find him.
As a wizard, I have a potentially higher AC, but spending those resources is what we talked about earlier.
He also has fewer hit points to drop below half for me to trigger the channel divinity.
The fighter could be at 3, and you're like, cool, here's my entire channel divinity. Whereas the wizard's like, oh, I'm down to 1 hit point. You're like, okay, well, I can only give you 30 of these.
People that laugh at this because they watch my wizard tanking, and they're like, why?
AC 20 is what it's about.
I think it'll be more easier for him to make the decision to raise shield if it's like, I'm going to get shot by a rock does like 5 damage, which is 2 damage now. I can eat these rocks all day.
I was going to say, it's also important to note that the fighter's AC is behind target.
What does that mean?
The fighter's AC is behind the target AC for this level.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
Okay, you're not using a shield. Because we're not using feats, you're actually doing less damage using a 2-hander than you are using a 1-hander, because 1-hand fighting style is ridiculous. Which means you should be at 19. And at this point, there's enough money for plate, so we should be at 21. We're 4 points under the target.
He can choose the Adamanting to like not eat a chunk when he gets critted.
But that's what I mean, where the cleric is the primary tank. Unless I'm getting an automatic hit, or I'm doing speculative fire, or there's no other option, I'm not throwing against the cleric. So I don't want to go after him. So the fighter is very much the second. And also, I think that is to his advantage. If he outpaces the cleric, you probably want the fighter taking the damage before the cleric does, because then I'm not going after the cleric, and I'm not taking away your potential healer. I've been looking at the AC numbers and the priority, where stacking AC past a certain point doesn't actually make any sense. Cleric adds another point of AC doesn't actually make a difference, because I'm not targeting him anyway. That has been my thought about it, but
I would point out that on the contrary, if this cleric stacks more AC, then so can I, and stay below him. But like, absolutely, my AC is atrocious. For an AC of 17, I should be a barbarian. I should be getting a significant damage reduction ability if my AC is going to be this low. As a fighter, I would never build this. I have stuck with it because it was the build I was given and because I can't change defensive fighting style. But I would never even take defensive fighting style. Dueling is 100% better in virtually every case.
why haven't you taken plate?
Well, because I've been gone for 2 sessions.
He's got a point.
You could have taken out level 6.
I could have, but the reason I didn't is because I had just gotten the adamantine. I haven't taken plate primarily because if I do, I wind up above the cleric.
No, you don't. You're 19 versus 20.
Oh, the cleric's up to 20? Okay. I could take plate, and I will take plate. If I were building this character, I would never have gone with a 2-handed sword, because without the ability to use great weapon fighting, it's just never as good as dueling.
I was going to say, in the game's defense, dueling fighting style is pushed. I also think that the target priority gets a little weird for this group. You're trying to play whack-a-mole on squishies, while we have 2 very stout tanks to stand in front. Realistically, my AC will never matter. So the calculus on who's got what AC gets funky. And if we get the wizard to a point where the constitution save is good enough, concentration checks are binary. Either you, the DM, are going to deal 40 points of damage in a turn so that the concentration check is meaningful, or you're not because you're shooting for small damage. Then that's one of those things.
I'm doing magic missiles and making you throw 3 at a time. Or I managed to hit you with a mammoth. You're finally taking one big one. The rogue's AC is very much part of the onion of defense. First is don't get seen. If you can be seen, don't be in range. And if you are within range, then have the AC to block. It's not your primary method of defense. It is an element that you don't want to neglect. You definitely want to have that available to you. But you're right. You shouldn't be relying on it as your first line of defense.
No, and at this point, my actual defense is having my reaction up to half the damage.
That's another one.
That's the actual defensive play as Rogue is. If you've got to take one on the chin, it's fine. You get one free one every fight.
Every round, yeah.
That starts to stack up. I prefer to think of it as one free one every encounter.
You can even heal those up with hit dice on a short rest. So you get a couple every fight. That's a good back-of-the-envelope math to try to figure out, well, how many can I actually afford? That's all for the Encounters of the Beguiled Forest. Next week, we'll continue with Level 9 and a series of wrong turns in the Underdark. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Saracen Zero, and I will see you then.